doesn't appear to want to actually work. So I'm wondering if when we go live, it might burst into life and it might actually appear on screen. But at the moment, we are chatless. I can still see the chat, though. I can still see you guys. It's just not showing on screen. So that is a bit frustrating. As I said, hopefully at some point it'll burst into life. There's really no reason as to why it's not showing. And it's a bit strange that the super chat thing has disappeared as well. Feels like there's some sort of internet problem. Don't know. I feel lonely. That's how I feel. I feel like I'm on my own, even though I can still see you guys. I feel like I'm on my own. Right. Rare Breeds says, hello, shout out to you. LSW retracted his message, and I think that's very interesting. He's been going off the rails recently. Probably said something absolutely appalling. Evening days, Steve. Hello. Hope you are well. Kyle loves wrestling. Shout out to you, buds. Hong Kong Fooey. Oh, okay. Now that's interesting. So, Big Lag just hit. Shout out to Big Lag, the brother of Big Bill. Maybe that's why we've been having these troubles. Just saw we were getting smashed on lag. Absolutely smashed. So I've changed over to a different router. So let's have a look and see if this is any better. And actually, let me try again and see if this will now put the chat on screen. Come on. We can do this. We can do this. We can do this together. We still can't do this. Breaking news, guys. We've got breaking news. We still can't do it. Yeah, we still don't have that resolved, unfortunately. But it doesn't matter because I can still see you guys. I've still got the chat on screen. So hopefully I'm still coming through. Yes, lag has won. Lag never wins. Lag might think it's won, but it'll never actually win. So let's go back to what we were saying. So we've got the preview for tonight. We've got the Fatal 5-Way. So we've got Xavier Woods, we've got Sheamus, we've got Drew, we've got Karrion Kross. There's someone else in there as well that I can't remember. They're probably not important. But they are going up against each other. The winner will get the opportunity to face Gunther at WrestleMania for the Intercontinental Championship. And I feel like pretty much it's going to be Drew that's going to win it. We've already seen Drew watching Gunther in action the other week. Kind of feels like that was a bit of a shame they did that, actually. Bit of a shame they did that because now it kind of heavily indicates that's the direction that we're going. Like, they didn't need to do that. We could have just had a Fatal 5-Way and then we could have ended up getting the winner. Then not only did we have Drew watching him, but Drew came out the following week and says how he's got an issue with Gunther. He wants to go after Gunther. So they've made it very clear that Drew is the focus. If anyone other than Drew wins this match, I will be amazed. I will be absolutely amazed. So I've got Drew heavily favorite, like 99.9% favorite to win that. You can never go 100 because you're never sure. You know, there's always injuries. He could have picked up an injury. Who knows? Might have got injured earlier today whilst he was shopping. And that has now ruled him out of WrestleMania and we have to go a different way. But 99% certain that's going to be Drew. We've also had it announced that we've got Legado taking on Judgment Day. So Judgment Day once again coming over to SmackDown. I suppose it makes sense because of Rhea and Charlotte. But Legado are taking it. And obviously, it seems like Santos has got a problem with Dominic. So we're clearly doing something there. So that's built into a match. We definitely need something from Bray. And we don't have anything lined up from Bray. There's been no Bray announcements. There was a message. I don't know if you saw this, but there was a tweet from Alexa. And Alexa was saying that... she is sick of people saying that she's on a break and all this kind of stuff, on hiatus. She says they know where to find me. If they want her, they know where she is. So she seemed to really have enough with some of the comments that she was seeing. She had a little bit of an outburst. She also said, don't forget, guys, I only let you see what I want you to see. So, a bit of drama going on there. If Brady is around, Alexa Bliss Gamer, perhaps he can fill us in on the mental state of Alexa Bliss currently, so that we can get a better understanding as to where this little outburst, mini outburst came from. But that came out on Twitter. Rumors of someone going in the Hall of Fame. I don't know if I should mention it or not. I'm sure you've seen the name anyway. It makes sense. We can maybe revisit that in a bit. Jey returns home. That's also one of the big things that's been announced for this week's show. Jey Uso, of course, returning to the Bloodline on Monday in that amazing segment, that amazing ending to Raw. It was absolutely brilliant. And yeah, I mean, obviously, Roman gave Jimmy a week to get this sorted. It's got sorted, which is a bit of a surprise. I really thought they were going to build the drama up tonight of what's going to happen. We don't have that. Instead, we're going to find out, how does Jey react with Roman? That's going to be interesting. You know, Jey has been out of the Bloodline for a little while. Is he back? Is he totally on board? Are they going to embrace? Is there a little look? Is there anything that we can take away and go, oh, did you see that? You know, is there a little bit of dissent in there? Is there anything for us to read into, or is it all going to be amazing? They're going to hug, big smiles, everyone's going to be happy, there's no dirty looks, Jey's living his best life, Roman's living his best life, Jimmy's living his best life. That'll be interesting. Jey's been out since the Rumble, and that's like the end of January, so he's been out for like, what, month and a half-ish? Maybe not quite, but around that sort of ballpark. So he's been out for a little while. So it's going to be interesting to see how he reacts with Roman. And then, as well as that, the big match, the one that everyone's talking about, the one that's got everyone's attention, the one that the wrestling world is just a buzz. Cannot wait. Braun Strowman and Ricochet versus Viking Raiders. Come on. So Braun and Ricochet, everyone's favorite tag team, taking on the Viking Raiders in a feud that I can't even remember why we're doing it, to be honest, because I thought the Viking Raiders were feuding with Sheamus and Drew. So I don't know why we're now doing Braun and Ricochet. Maybe it's because Sheamus and Drew are in that fatal five-way. We need something for the Raiders. I don't know. But either way, we're getting that match as well. So, yeah, you know, some good stuff, some all right stuff. And I'm sure the show is going to be a lot of fun. And I really hate not having the chat on screen. I just need you to know that. And also, I do seem to be out of sync when I'm talking. I don't know if that's coming across or not. But it says that there's really bad render lag. So, yeah, I seem to be out of sync. Am I out of sync if I actually watch the stream as well? Oh, my God. We have just been smashed with technical issues, haven't we? Let's have a look. If this is out of sync, then I might have to just stop the stream, start the stream, and see if we get anywhere. Let's have a little look. It's out. It's not terrible. I might just try and stop it and start it anyway. Give me 1 second. I'll see if I can knock it back in line. Okay, maybe that's better. Looks a little better. It still doesn't look brilliant, though, if I'm being honest. Still doesn't look brilliant. But, yeah, it was a little bit out. I don't know if it's still out now. Hopefully not. Oh, but we do have it. Oh, okay. I've only just noticed that at least we got that fixed. Okay. So that was worth it then. So, listen, if in doubt, turn it off, turn it back on again. Boom. Just appears on screen. Amazing. Chat is back. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. Oh my God. Makes it seem like I can actually do things. Yeah, I knew that would happen, guys. I knew that would happen. I thought, yeah, I mean, look, this is technical issue 47B. It's very simple to fix. What you do is you turn it off, turn it back on again, and the chat that appears back on screen, Textbook. That was textbook. That was, guys. Textbook. Miss Clown, shout out to you. Said IT crowd knows best. Turn it off and on again. Keegan said, what's your first name? Wrestling. Anna says, hello from little Roddy in Rhode Island. Shout out to you, my friend. Shout out to Rhode Island. Dort Knight said, LA Knight is the best thing in WWE. William Hensey said, that works with my fiance as well. I just turn her off and on again and it fixes the problems. Very nice. I just started Frasier on Paramount Channel. Goated show. Going to try and watch every episode. They're making the sequel with Rodney Trotter. They are indeed. I'm looking forward to it. We actually spoke about it on the Wrestling Escape Pods. I was talking to Triple T on Wednesday. We record on Tuesday. It goes up on Wednesday. Wednesday. I was talking to him a little bit about that because the reboot goes back to Boston, and that's where Triple T is from. So it goes back there. So I was presuming he'd be pretty hyped, and he didn't give a flip. Didn't give a flip at all. But I love Frasier. I honestly would. I think it might be my favorite comedy. Might be. I do love Only Fools and Horses, of course. Jay back in the Bloodline, hopefully, says Chrissy. Yes, hopefully. We've got, obviously, that's a big talking point tonight, is Jay going back into the Bloodline. The whole Bray thing, I think, is very interesting because they haven't announced anything for Bray. And that is definitely a feud that needs something. Now, last week we saw Uncle Howdy trying to attack Bobby. He tried to attack Bobby and didn't really get anywhere. He tried to attack. He didn't manage. Uncle Howdy didn't manage to achieve much. He ended up getting pushed away. I think he got chucked down to the ring as well. Kind of scurried off to the corner. Lights went off, and then when he came on, he'd disappeared. I said how I didn't think it was a very good look. I would much rather Uncle Howdy be above that, to be honest. I don't really think Uncle Howdy doing sneak attacks is the kind of thing that I would be looking for. I mean, I understand you can make the argument, well, if he doesn't do it, who's going to do it? You wouldn't necessarily put Bray in that position. It does make Uncle Howdy seem a little bit like J&J Security, or do you know what I mean? Like one of those, the Singh brothers, those kinds of people that go out and do the dirty work for the champion. Do you know what I mean? Like Uncle Howdy goes off and does the dirty work so that Bray doesn't have to. But that's just not been my reading of their relationship. My reading of their relationship was that Howdy was actually quite important. Not like a servant to Bray, but more like a partner or a guide or something along those lines. So, as I said, I thought the optics on that were not great last week. But what are they going to do this week? Because they haven't announced any segments for Bray this week. They haven't announced anything. And they've got to do something. Do you know what I mean? I thought the Funhouse was really good. And obviously the whole who opened the door, it feels like that needs to be followed up on. We had great fun kind of talking about the Funhouse episodes. But, that's been a couple of weeks now. And we haven't really had anything as a follow-up. So I'm definitely looking for something from Bray. I mean, we can definitely have something. Definitely we can have something tonight, but it's not part of the official preview, which I just think is a little bit strange because, I mean, if you think about how successful White Rabbit was, then, fast forward a few months and now he's in a feud with Bobby. It's been a little bit hit and miss. This is his WrestleMania feud. He's not being advertised in advance for the show. I mean, we know that Roman's on and Jay's on, and we know that, we're getting certain matches. I just think it's really strange. It just seems really strange. How have we gone from White Rabbit and that reaction at Extreme Rules to where we are now? It just seems strange. I don't know what's happening. We know that Bobby wasn't the first choice, so maybe there's a bit of scrambling. Maybe this isn't what was planned. Maybe they had other plans, and because it's not Brock or whoever, and it's Bobby, they are having to try and cobble something together. I really don't know. I mean, what I would say though is they've had all week. They knew that this week was coming last week, didn't they? I don't think it was a surprise. I don't think we've got to this Friday and they've gone, oh my God, another Friday. How many Fridays are there? Did anyone know there was another Friday this week? I can't imagine that's caught them off guard. So, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Mark said Vince is behind Bray stuff now. Do we have an update on Roxanne Perez? Well, yeah, she's overpushed. That's the update. Listen, if that injury, and we said it on Tuesday, right, at the time, if that was a legit injury, you would not have cameras on the stretcher, right? No way. You would not have cameras on the stretcher. We've seen enough legit injuries to know that if there's an injury like that, you cut to the commentators or you cut to the crowds. Because if it's a real injury and it's a real situation, you don't show the stretcher. So, like, when she collapsed at first, my first reaction was, what's this? What's going on? And then, like, as soon as the camera stayed on her for a prolonged period of time, you knew it was a work. You knew it was scripted. You knew it was whatever, right? So, yeah, the update is that she is being heavily focused on. Let's put it that way. Kojiko. Hello, Kojiko. How are you, mate? Are you sober, buds? Eh? Are you sober tonight? Shout out to you. Kojiko said the founder intended to name the business Google. The founder intended to name the business Google, but they mistakenly registered the domain name with the name that we all know and love, Google. Very nice. I like that. I like that. Do you know what? I want to go on record to say that I really like sober Kojiko. Kojiko that's sober, that's, you know, kind of mentally here with us. Seems like a nice person. Seems like a nice person. Interesting facts. Do you know what I mean? Like, the Kojiko that's just an absolute, just honestly, degenerate. That's the word I was looking for. I think we all spent that last stream, pretty much the whole stream, trying to figure out what the flip you was on about. But welcome back, my friends. And that's a good fact, that is. I like that. It's a good fact. Shout out to you. William said, Triple T has to super chat to get noticed by Days. Is he in the chat, is he? Is he in the house? Have a little look. I mean, I'm looking for him. If he's here, I still can't see him. Oh, there he is. No copyright content. Triple T, shout out to you. Actually, that reminds me as well. I don't know if we mentioned it on the Wrestling Escape Pods. We might have mentioned it on one of the videos that's not gone up. But Triple T has started doing videos again. So if you do watch the Wrestling Escape Pods on a Wednesday, gets recorded on a Tuesday, but it airs on a Wednesday, then you'll be obviously very aware of Triple T. And you'll be aware of Triple T anyway, one of the biggest names in all of the wrestling figure communities. And he is back, baby, doing more wrestling figure videos. So check them out. I crap me eyes. They're good. They're good. Triple T is back, baby. I watched the one where he was looking at the slideshow. It was funny. It was really good. So shout out to you, Trips. Edward said, you missed my super chat. Well, it seems like that missed as well. It didn't even go on the thing. Seems like not only did I miss it, but it got missed up here. Look. Have a little scroll up. Edward says, hello, Days. Big up yourself. You're amazing. Love you. Okay, a little bit pervy, a little bit creepy. Don't know that I wanted to scroll up to that, but shout out to you all the same. Edwards, hope you're doing well, buds. Hope you're doing well. We got 38 minutes. I feel like only now we're settling down into the normal stream. If you've just joined us, this is probably the best point to join us. Everything up to this has been technical difficulties and us trying to just kind of wade through some of the news and some of the bits of wrestling talk that's out there. But I must admit, there's not loads at the moment. There's not loads that's going down. Let's see what Jason's got to say. Jason said, it's been a long while, but I'm back, Mr. Days. Jason, shout out to you, my friend. I like your profile picture. I can see the Fiend. I can see some, it's like the Fiend at a rave. That's what it looks like. I can see the Fiend. I can see some strobe lights. I can see like purple backgrounds. Mentally, I've got the Fiend at a rave. And honestly, if WWE wants to give us quality content, then give me a vignette of the Fiend on a night out. I want to see the Fiend go into a nightclub, partying the night away. I want to see women approaching him, women coming up to the Fiend, having a little chat, but being a little bit uncertain. Maybe at the end of the night is smooching with a girl outside the club. This is the kind of content that's going to bring in viewers. You've got to make the Fiend and Bray more relatable, right? This is how you do it. Oh, man, brilliant. Jason, welcome back. Chrissy said the Fiend might be coming back, but from Uncle Howdy, that would be fire. The Fiend might be coming back from Uncle Howdy. Do you mean for Uncle Howdy? So what, Fiend versus Uncle Howdy? We could see that. We could see that. The biggest part of the Howdy thing for me is who is playing him, because that's not Bo. Maybe it will be eventually, but I think it's Vincent filling in if I had to guess, said Steve. I think it's Bo, to be truthful. I mean, why do you think it's not Bo? I'd be interested to know. Why does Steve not think it's Bo? I would be interested to know. That's my version of Cat in the Hat. Godfather's host said, Days, I went to Mom's house because I have to take a shat. Okay. Jumped back into my lowrider, coming out feeling like I'm 10 pounds lighter. Hope we see some of that moose leather mousse from Bailey. Godfather's host, shout out to you. Just if we thought we might be able to climb out of the gutter, climb away from the technical difficulties that have dragged this stream down into the streets, into the gutters, right? Just as we were making those moves, Godfather's Ho arrives to ensure that we get taken right back to square one. So, Godfather's Ho, shout out to you. Big Time Baxter said, did you see that Tony Khan was sleeping on the keyboards and tweeted thank you for watching a million times? I did. Did you see that on Twitter? I replied to each of those messages he sent out. I think he sent out around about 10 different thank you for watching on TBS, blah, 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 right? And so I just replied to everyone, you're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. I mean, it probably was really annoying if you follow me on Twitter, in all fairness. But, yeah, man. Yeah, funny. I don't really understand. I mean, I don't really understand why that happened. I mean, I don't know if it's just like, I don't know if he runs his own account. He's obviously going to have access to it, but some of these big people, personalities, even wrestlers like The Undertaker, for example, I don't believe them to run their own account. I don't believe they're jumping on Twitter and tweeting. There's teams of people that will do this for individuals, that will do this for you so that you have still got like tweets going out and engagement and all of that stuff, but you don't have to do it. And I don't know if there was a mistake in the algorithm. I don't know if someone went rogue. I don't know. But it was around about 10 or 12 times he sent message out thanking people for watching Dynamite, which is mental. I don't think I've ever been thanked once from Vince. Has Vince ever, let alone 12 or times in one show, has he ever sent one tweet saying thank you for watching? Not with anything after. Not like thank you for watching WWE. I'm very excited to enact. Not that. Just literally just a tweet to say thank you for watching WWE. Just wanted to say thank you so much for watching Raw tonight. I don't think Vince has sent that once in his life. In all fairness, I don't even think Vince could find Twitter. If you told him to send a tweet, I don't even know if he'd be able to find it. So, yeah, about 10 or 12 times from from Tony Khan. Excessive. But listen, this is what he brings. You know, he's a disruptor. And he's disrupted anyone that follows him, just like I did when I replied to them all.
I never needed you.
It's good. It's good fun, innit? It's good fun.
I never needed you.
Right, Mitchell, shout out to you, my friend. I wasn't ignoring you. Of course. We were just talking about Tony Khan. I'm sure you heard. Mitchell said, Days, what do you think is up with some of the WWE stories? Why is the Bloodline stuff so good, but the Madcap Moss Bray stuff so bad? Is it producer stuff or overall creative? Well, I think, it comes down to different ideas and different executions. So, for example, the Bloodline stuff is amazing, but we can't say that everything Roman has done throughout his career has been amazing. And we certainly can't say every major story they've told has been amazing. They've stumbled across an amazing story. I mean, I don't want to say it's an exception, but this is one of the best stories we've ever seen. It's one of the best stories. The Bloodline story is one of the best stories I've ever seen from WWE. So I think to compare to that would be, well, I mean, it's not unfair because they're both happening at the same time and they're both being done by the same company. So it's certainly not unfair. But when we say the Bloodline story is special, we're not just saying that because, like, it's just something to say. We're saying it because we just don't see stories this good from WWE. The normal stories you get are just, well, as they're just middle of the roads, paint by numbers. Someone gets attacked backstage. Someone interferes in someone's match. Someone distracts someone, blah, 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 again and again and again and again. And that's about it, really. Whereas with this Bloodline one, I think what makes this so good is that we have focused on it on a regular basis, right? It's always had big segments during the show, right? So it's never just had like, oh, quick, let's do a Bloodline vignette. It's always opened the show or closed the show, or we've revisited it several times throughout a show. So it's always had time. It's always had time, and it's consistently had time. It's not like it had next to no time at the start, but only recently it's been getting time. This has been the focus since Roman came back. Since Roman came back, you might remember, he came back, made his presence felt. We saw him in the locker room. Do you remember the camera panning over and, oh my God, there's Paul Heyman? I mean, that was like, Roman coming back was like a shock. He's back. Then we got the shock of, oh my God, here's Paul Heyman. Those two were like hanging around each other. Then obviously we had, I think we had an injury, didn't we, to Jimmy, or was Jimmy suspended? Because I remember it only being Jey, and Jey stood up to Roman and didn't like what Roman was doing. And then obviously they had matches. Jimmy then started getting involved. Jey then became the main event Jey, the right-hand man to Roman. Jimmy then came back. Jimmy was trying to, stand up to Roman a little bit at the start, but not as much as Jey. He fell in line a lot quicker. Then we had to use that, the story. But the point is, it's been a journey. It's been a story that's been told over a long period of time. It's had big segments. It's had consistent storytelling. We've really focused on every character. Like, that Jey's relationship with Roman is different to Jimmy's relationship with Roman. That Jimmy and Jey have got a relationship that's different to their relationship with Sammy. They both treated Sammy differently at different times. And this. And because of the amount of work that's gone into it and backstory that's gone into it, it is so rich. You could put Sammy and Solo in the ring now, and it would be an amazing segment. We don't hear Solo talk much now. He didn't when he first came up, actually. He was talking when he first came up, but they've kept him mute now. But if you was to just have him say a few things as Sammy was talking, that would be gold. It would be a great segment because you've done the background work. We know that Solo has come up. We know that he is very much on Roman's side. He's never wavered. Sammy having a word with Solo would be interesting if he was trying to get him away from Roman. Just watching how that plays out. Obviously, you can do Solo. Solo could have had a word with Jey. Solo could have tried to have brought Jey back. So you could have done that dynamic. Obviously, Jimmy and Jey, we saw that on Monday. And looked like Jey was going to walk away from his brother at one point. You know, he grabs his shirt and it's all real heartfelt and everything. It's amazing. And because of how much we've committed to it, because of how rich that story is, and because of like all the different parts and elements, you can now interchange them and just generate endless amounts of amazing segments. This story is continuing to deliver. The segment on Monday was amazing, but it will continue, you know, for the foreseeable future as well. You can easily go past WrestleMania with Bloodline story. Easily. I don't know that we will, because I think that we're going to be taking some time off. Roman's taking some time off. I think that Solo could end up going off on his own. The Usos, you know, I don't know if we're getting close to like a face turn from them. I think they're going to lose the titles. It's going to be interesting as to what we do in the summer, whether the Bloodline still stays together or not. You know, because I think Cody wins at Mania, and I think Sami and Kevin win at Mania, and Bloodline losing the titles, it could either destroy them or it could make them angry, and they could be out for vengeance, and that could be interesting. So, you know, it's we've committed to it for so long. I really don't think we should throw it away, to be honest. I would stick with them. And I would try and go with that vengeance angle as they try and get revenge, but put them in a feud with someone so it keeps them away from Cody and keeps them away from Sami and Kevin. Put them in a feud with someone. I was talking on the members stream, maybe someone like Judgment Day, because you could have Dominic, Roman could take some time off, and then you could have Solo and the Usos versus Damian, Finn, and Dominic. You've got Rhea, which means that the heels are going to need a woman, and that would just be a great way to bring in Naomi. If you got Naomi back, put her with Jimmy, Jey, Solo, and then on the other side, you've got Rhea, Dominic, Damian, and Finn. That feuds can see you straight through the summer. No problems. Have a good rest, Roman. Put your feet up, mate. So not only have we got that story, but we've also got Cody defending the titles, going up against whoever Cody's going up against, right? So you'd still have a world champion. You'd still have Cody. You'd have Sami and Kevin doing their things as tag champs. You would have Bloodline going up against the likes of Judgment Day. Turning Judgment Day face wouldn't be a problem. And boom, great way to bring Naomi back as well. So, you know, it's so rich. So you compare that to Madcap, right? You compare that to even Bray, who has obviously told a deep, rich story. But the problem with Bray is that it's not consistent. You know, sometimes we just get a little vignette thing. Sometimes we get a bit more. Sometimes what we get that's a bit more doesn't seem to really make much sense in regards to, as I'm sitting here now, I really don't think Howdy should have been in that position where he tried to jump Bobby and ended up scurrying away. I just don't think that was a good look for Howdy. I don't think that was a good look for him. I think that we could have had lights out. They could have come back on, and Howdy could have been in the ring, and he could have cut a promo. He could have said something really interesting, something that really got to Bobby. Could have given this feud a meaning. We haven't even given this feud a meaning. There's theories that fans have come up with saying that it's because Bobby is the representation of what Vince looks for. But that has not been indicated in the show. They can use it. But right now, that ain't the reason, because they haven't given us the reason. They haven't actually said. Right now, that's nothing more than fan theory. So, the fact that we're, 20-odd days out from WrestleMania, we don't even know why Bray is going after Bobby. Like, the attention to detail, amazingly, is not that great. Bray's attention to detail is normally very good, but that's when he's focused on his own characters. When it comes to actually attention to detail in building a feuds, sometimes that doesn't actually translate as well. But if it's attention to detail in regards to his universe, his characters, his world, the Funhouse in particular, the Fiends, attention to detail is great. Actually, attention to detail in building a feuds, hit and miss, to be honest. Not so much. And I don't think it helps that seemingly people don't want to play with him. He's the kid that no one seemingly wants to play with because they're worried that they're not going to come out of it looking that great. And, that's believed to be the reason why Brock didn't want to do the match. Bobby doesn't seem to be thrilled at doing it either. Bobby doesn't seem to be engaging in, he's talking about, I don't want to play your kids' games. He's keeping it very short, keeping it very sweet. Obviously, Bobby will do as he's told. But, if Bobby's not going to be doing a great deal to build this, if Bobby doesn't have an issue so much with Bray, Bobby's not the one that's called for this match. So the focus is on Bray. Bray is the one that's got to bring the story. Bray is the one that's got to bring the intention and everything. And we just haven't seen it yet. We just haven't seen it. This isn't, let's all have a go at Bray because, it's not just Bray, it's creative. Creative have not backed him up. But then saying that, Bray is such a creative force. Have creative been told to just let Bray, kind of do what he thinks is the right thing? I don't know how much involvement they've got in his segments. Kind of feels like someone does need to take this feud and put a bit of a rocket booster on it and really give it a push, So quite an in-depth answer there, quite an in-depth response. But there's a lot to talk about, in all fairness, to break that down. It comes down to how much you commit to it, how much attention to detail there is, all the stuff we just said. So, as I said, I'm really looking for a big Bray segment soon. I don't know if it's tonight, but I'd love us to put a rocket booster onto this. I'd love a segment that really gives us a reason as to why did he want the winner of that match. What is he looking to achieve? Bray fans love Bray's feuds because they normally connect to the past. Seemingly, this doesn't. Obviously, he's got a lot of history with Randy Orton, for example. He's got history with Seth. He's got history with Finn Balor. He's got history with loads of different people. I can't think of what history he's got with Bobby Lashley. Someone might say, he eliminated him from the 2018 Royal Rumble or something, but do you know what I mean? It's first of all, I have no idea. And second of all, they haven't mentioned it. And this is what I'm saying. This feud needs a bit of a rocket booster on it. Give me a good reason why it's happening. Give Bobby something to think about. Make Bobby uncomfortable. I mean, honestly, the sneak attack by Howdy, Bobby wasn't even bothered. It's not like it sent a message to Bobby and Bobby was scared. Bobby dealt with it comfortably, easily. So, we need a rocket booster. Corey said, Days, what do you make of Elite to WWE rumors? Nothing but rumors. I think that WWE would be interested in Kenny. I think they might be interested in the Bucks. I think WWE would be interested because, look, Triple H is trying to boost his tag division. Kenny is one of the best in-ring performers in the world. Kenny is, someone that would fit seamlessly in WWE. He would be great in WWE. And I think that I could see why Triple H would be interested in both. Plus, you're taking them away from AEW. You are ripping the heart out of AEW. You are literally reaching in and ripping out the heart. If you take the Elite out of all Elite wrestling, what's left? All wrestling. That's it. It's just all wrestling. You are literally ripping the heart out of that company. That's got to be appealing to Triple H as well. So I certainly don't think it's got no chance. I think WWE would be very interested. It comes down to Kenny and the Bucks. Because do they want to leave AEW, a company that is, sort of their company? They helped start it, even though it's owned by Tony Khan. And I'm sure that relationship can be frustrating at times. It's sort of still their company, without them, it doesn't get started. So do they want to leave that? Maybe they do. Perhaps they don't like the aggro. That CM Punk stuff and the fallout of that was aggro. It might sound great being executive vice president, but honestly, probably sucks. You probably just want to be a wrestler. You probably just want to be one of the boys and not have to worry about that stuff. Trying to be an executive vice president and still wrestle. it's probably not a fun situation to be in. If you're going to be an executive vice president, be that. If you're going to be a wrestler, be that. If you're going to try and do both, it's probably going to be messy. And I think they found that at times it's been messy. So, they're probably looking at WrestleMania. They're probably looking at, good pay, excellent, amazing exposure. And it's got to be tempting. It's got to be tempting. They've got to be looking at it going, oh, look at how they're using Cody. I mean, Kenny, I think, could be tempted. The Bucks could be looking at it and thinking, look at how they treated FTR. I mean, FTR are amazing. They were not treated well in WWE. And tag teams, historically, just don't get treated well. There's phases, Hardys, Dudleys, British Bulldogs, Heart Foundation, Usos. There's definitely, times where tag teams get their shine. But I think we can agree that across the 60 years that WWE has been going, tag teams have not been treated as well as they should. And, when was the last time a tag team main evented WrestleMania? I mean, I remember it at WrestleMania 1. But, and they weren't even proper tag teams. But, this is my point, tag wrestling just doesn't seem to get the same focus as the singles wrestling in WWE. And that could be a concern for the Bucks. Kenny, I think, would be all right. I mean, Kenny has really got a decision to make. The Bucks, I could see it being a bit easier to turn down going to WWE. We've only got to look at Gallows and Anderson. How have we been using them? Even under Triple H, I would say not very well. I would say we haven't used them very well at all. How had we been using the Viking Raiders? I would say not very well. I think we've tried to restart them a few times, and it's not been brilliant. So, yeah, I think if you're a tag team, you'd have concerns. But Kenny has probably got a decision to make. But listen, if the money's good and there's certain guarantees and they feel that the relationship with Tony has maybe got a bit toxic, or perhaps there's plans to bring CM Punk back and they really don't agree with it, or who knows, any of those kind of things or a combination of those things may result in the Elite going to WWE being realistic. I would say right now it doesn't happen. But I certainly don't think that WWE would be against it. I mean, I think we can see what Kenny and the Bucks bring. And they definitely bring something. Right, let's try and scroll down. I want to get to these. So, Dragon Slayer, shout out to you, my friend. Appreciate the support. Alexis said, Days, can Jey lead the Bloodline and be a main event star? I mean, he can be a main event star. We've seen him as a main event star when he worked with Roman, but can he be a main event star off on his own? I'm not so sure. I think that he can talk, he can wrestle. He's a little bit on the smaller side because he's been in the Usos. It's very hard to see him as a solo guy. I just don't. If I'm going to be honest, I don't see that for him. I don't see him being world champion and being like a multi-time main event person. I think what he is an excellent wrestler, and he's someone that can fill that spot if you have a story or a need. So, him against Roman, no-brainer, made sense, and it was a lot of fun, right? But he's not like Kevin Owens. He's not someone that's going to, go into that singles division. I mean, again, he's competing against the likes of Roman, Brock, like Gunther. There's some big guys that when he's standing next to them, he doesn't quite measure up. And I know that being smaller, it shouldn't be a factor, shouldn't be a thing. And for the likes of Daniel Bryan, it wasn't. Rey Mysterio, blah, 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 blah. And I understand that. But, in regards to Jey, in order for him to get up there, you're going to need a real special story. You're going to need a real special reason to do it. Now, this Bloodline story might have got him up there if it had gone a certain direction. If Jey had turned down the Bloodline and decided he wanted to go off on his own, and we actually told a story where Jey was coming down to make saves, Jey was getting in the face of Roman and standing up by himself, and we actually positioned Jey in that way, maybe, we could have got somewhere because of the story. But long after the story ends, Jey, I think, falls away from the main event. I think Jey is someone that needs good stories to be a main event star, whereas someone like John Cena, because of his natural size, he just looks like he belongs in the main event anyway. He just like it's no brainer. He's just a main event star. Just the same way that they're seemingly pushing the likes of Bron Breakker, who's, you know, pretty jacked guy. And so, you know, those kind of bigger guys, it's a lot more less work. It's a lot less work for them. It's less work for Roman. Roman just looks like he belongs in the main event. You could put Roman anywhere on the card and you'll just be waiting for him to get to the main event. You know, when you look like Roman and you've got the look, then it's a lot easier to get there. Whereas with Jey, he's just, you know, he's one half of a tag team. He is one half of one of the best tag teams, identical twin. I think it's just harder. It's just harder. It's just a lot about it that's harder. But as I said, you could certainly use this story to get him back up there. And we've seen him in the main event at the start of this story. So there is no reason why he couldn't be in the main events later in this story. But my concern would be once the Bloodline story ends, you're going to need another amazing story to keep him in that main event. Because, to be honest, you know, even Rey Mysterio was only getting into the top of the card and getting the world title after Eddie passed away. There was a big push for Rey to get to the belt after Eddie passed away. And again, this goes back to what I was saying. It needed that kind of story. It needed that sort of emotion in order for Rey to go on to become a world champion. It wasn't because Rey is amazing. Oh my God, this is the guy we're going to put the company behind. It needed a story like that, and I think that Jey is in a very similar boat. So, could he get into a main event? Sure. Do I think he stays in main events? I don't think so. But could he lead the Bloodline over the summer? Yes. Yep. But I don't know if he'd be in main events, to be honest, because you've got the likes of Cody around still, and like they're gonna put, you know, if Roman's away, then Cody's gonna close the shows. Cody will be the one they hitch the wagon to if Roman steps away. Cody's the one that they're gonna try and get super over. I mean, he's over anyway, but like, I mean, really, like, this is the guy. He's never won a world title before. So they're going to put the title on him. They're going to go really pushing him. So I don't even think Jey needs to step up if Roman takes some time off necessarily. He could lead the Bloodline, be the main talker for the Bloodline. But equally, Solo could step into that position. But we seem to like to have him mute at the moment, don't we? But imagine if Roman took some time off and like Jey went to talk and Solo stopped him, told him to like move back, and Solo grabbed the microphone. And Solo started talking. Like, you could do that as well. And you could easily have Solo lead the group. Visually, that might look better, actually, because obviously the Usos, identical twins, standing behind. They're one of the greatest tag teams we've ever seen. Solo is not part of that. He is Solo. Literally, it's in his name. So, like, you know, I wouldn't mind that either, with Solo stopping Jey, telling him that I've got this, and he does the talking. I wouldn't mind that. Or you might want to just continue having him mute, but I don't think him being mute forever is like is a good way forwards. I think, like, you know, you do need to be able to cut promos, and if you're not going to cut promos, you're going to need a manager or you're going to need a mouthpiece. So he's either got to have a mouthpiece or he's going to have to start talking. So I don't really mind which way we go with Solo. Sean, shout out to you, said, of the competitors in the Fatal 5-Way, Kross seems to be the only one that's healthy and who doesn't have a program for WrestleMania. How would you book him for WrestleMania? Kross. What would I do with Kross? It's a good question, because I think Drew goes on to face Gunther. So Karrion seems to be in a bit of a feud with Rey, and I don't think Rey's got anything for WrestleMania. So I think I'd be looking at Kross versus Rey Mysterio. We're 20 days away. To start anything new at this point, I think would be crazy. I think that you just go with the feud that you've got, and that is he's feuding with Rey. So yeah, we're 20 days out, Kross versus Rey, because I can't even think what Rey Mysterio's doing at WrestleMania. I don't think he's there, is he? I don't think we've got anything for Rey. So that feud is quite flat, though. That's honestly, that match on a WrestleMania card would be a toilet break for me. That might be harsh because I know people love Rey and they love Kross, but that feud, that story is dead. Like, there's no interest in it whatsoever. No one asks about it. No one talks about it. No one cares about it. It's dead. Like, the Bloodline story is way bigger. And I would argue all the championship matches are being built better. The Logan-Seth match is much more interesting. The John Cena-Austin Theory match is a lot more interesting. Kross and Rey would be, honestly, the bathroom break for me. So you could do that match. It might just be that they go on the go home. So we know that the SmackDown on Friday before WrestleMania tends to have some big matches. Last year, they had Ricochet defending the Intercontinental Championship on that show. They also had the Andre Battle Royal that was won by Madcap Moss. So you could do Rey versus Karrion, steel cage match or whatever, right? On the SmackDown, go home for WrestleMania, or put it on a kickoff show. Put it on one of the kickoff shows. Put it on one of the buy-in kickoff things. Because honestly, I just don't feel like it belongs on the main card. I understand that Rey belongs on the main cards. Like, it's Rey, and so he belongs on there. So maybe you would put it on the kickoff show so that at least you can still put Rey, give Rey that. 'Cause who knows how much longer Rey's got left. So, like, maybe you put it on the WrestleMania show so that Rey can walk out there and have the fans, let's get in early because Rey Mysterio's on the kickoff, But it's just unfortunate that it's just a bit of a dead story and we haven't got anything better. Ironically, the match that I think people would want to see is Rey versus Dominic. That's the match people would want. That would more than belong on the main cards. That should be on the main cards. The only problem is I just don't think Rey should go after Dominic because I just don't think I can't. Rey is all about family. He's a good guy. He's a good soul. He's a family man. Everything he does for his kids. The idea that he would want to have a match against his son, I would struggle to buy it, even with how horrific Dominic has been. And I know that everyone's got a breaking point, but I would just struggle to buy it. I just think I just think Rey's got this endless well of patience when it comes to his kids. It looked like he was losing it the other day, in all fairness, but he still managed to leave the ring and not do anything. So, plus also, Rey knows if he touched Dominic, he'd be in so much trouble with his wife. I mean, honestly, his home life just wouldn't be worth it. So he's probably thinking about that. He's probably thinking, I can't touch you because, honestly, I'll never hear the end of it. I'll just have this all the time. So I feel sorry for Rey Mysterio. But that's definitely the match he should be having. But I'd look at going that way. It's not the sexiest of answers, I understand. But 20 odd days out? It's like 20 something days, isn't it now? I wouldn't be starting something new at this point. At this point, as we said, you want to be putting in some real substance into the feuds. You want to be, what we're doing now is we're putting stuff into the video packages. That's what we're doing now. We're trying to find video package moments, not starting like new feuds. Days, I skipped watching Dynamite, said Big Time Baxter, for the third straight week. I was surprised at 853 showing up. People felt the same. It was a bit lower than I thought. I thought they would do low end 900,000, so it was about, I'd say, 50,000 lighter than I was expecting as well. So, I thought that the buzz around the Iron Man match would probably grab people's attention, but to be honest, there's not really anything to tune in for on a Wednesday if there's been a great match on a Sunday. So if there's been a banging match on a Sunday, why would people tune in on the Wednesday? It's happened. It's gone. Do you know what I mean? It's like saying that, did you watch this amazing football match on Saturday? No, but I'll tune in next Saturday. Well, why? Because it might be rubbish next Saturday. That's not the match I was talking about. It was last week. But it's different, obviously, if CM Punk had come back. If CM Punk had come back on Sunday, then everyone would have tuned in on Wednesday to see what he said. and see what was going to happen. He's going to say anything about Hangman. He's going to say anything about the Elite, about the Bucks, blah, 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 blah. That would have carried over. So I suppose like FTR was the hope. Like FTR coming back. Let's find out. But I mean, I think we saw them at the end of last year. So that wasn't really going to do it. And I mean, honestly, I didn't even make the video on it. It didn't feel big enough to me at the time to even make a separate video about it. So if I didn't feel like it was that big to make a video on it that the FTR would come out, then I suppose like, you know, that says that it's not big enough that it's going to bring in a load of people for Dynamite. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what he's going to do. I really don't know what he's going to do. I mean, we know there's not loads of free agents out there. To be honest, what he needs to do is he needs to find a way of getting Mercedes Moné, right? He's got to get her, and he's got to get CM Punk back. If you can drop Mercedes Moné into the women's division, and then you can drop CM Punk into the men's division, right? Well, we might get somewhere then. We might get somewhere. Obviously, you're going to need to, I'm not just saying this, he needs a booker, right? And I'm not saying this like to be nasty, but Paige has come back to AEW, and it has been one of the worst things I've seen. Like, Paige is one of those names that we would have said if he could get Saraya back. Imagine if he could get Paige to come back and have a match, right? And you build to that, like how amazing that would be. Well, he did it. He had it, and it's been awful. Like what she's doing now, she's running around with green paint and Tony Storm and Ruby Soho and spray painting people. And it's just some of the worst parts of the show, right? He is spending, I don't know how much he's spending on her, but loads of money on what is, for me, one of the worst parts of the show. So, you know, it's all well and good getting CM Punk, and it's all well and good going to get Mercedes Moné. I have no confidence that if he did that, he would book them right, and that he would make it fun and credible and tell a great story. You would want to get Mercedes, you would want to get CM Punk, and you would want to tell a story like the Bloodline. Not exactly the same, but like a story that connects with people, that's told over time, can, you know, take its time. And it's got some interesting little twists and turns, but it's nothing silly. It's credible. It's relatable. Do you know what I mean? It's good. That's what you'd want for Mercedes. That's what you'd want for CM Punk. But, I mean, like, look at what we're doing with Saraya. It's awful. So he needs Mercedes. He needs CM Punk. And he needs a booker. And I ain't saying anything that no one else is not saying. I mean, you know, if you're coming here for like revolutionary thoughts, I feel like I'm failing you, because it's pretty much what everyone else is like saying at the moment. So, but anyway, that's that. This is this, and we are underway with SmackDown. He needs James Ellsworth, says Wisp. Booker T is busy. Booker T. Booker. Right. Here we go, then. We are about to go over to SmackDown. We're just looking at what happened on Raw, of course. Of course. I need to go over to BT. Hey, what? This is hell, doesn't it? We had real dramas at the start, but thankfully we're lag-free as we are heading over to the start of SmackDown. Robert said, I see Ray retaliating against Dominic. If not tonight, then next Friday. James said, Tony can do one, only thanking Americans. Where is our international viewer thank yous? It's a great point. He thanked everyone for tuning in on TBS. Not one mention of us that have to stay up 1 o'clock in the morning watching on Fight. Good point. It's an excellent point. Well made, James. Great. I mean, look, we're just seeing this amazing moment between the brothers where Jey, I love how he grabs the shirt as well. Like, it's just Oscar-worthy storytelling in it. And it's also serious as well, you know. Massive pop. That's such a big moment. And you can see, like, Jimmy's heart breaking. Brilliant. What a video package this is. They've got a little bit of Blur on there. Heartfelt music in the background. Brilliant. Bang. Super kick. Sammy goes down. Smile on the face of Jimmy. Shock in the crowds. It's family, boy. You thought I would choose you? Raining down shots. Here's Cody to make the save, of course. There we go. Right, we've got Mr. Heyman as, is that a Chevrolet? Throwing up the ones. Here are the Usos. OG. Okay. Where's the tribal chief? Ah, Heyman gives him a hug. He is so proud of you. I'm proud of you too. He gives Jey a hug. When you find out where he's at, you tell him I'm here. Here's Kayla. Why did you turn on Sammy? Everything I need to say, I'll say in that ring. Okay, nice. Can't wait for WrestleMania, said Black Dollar. Moolah said, hopefully we get a good segment out of Bray and Bobby tonight. It's very stale. Right. SmackDown. I really like the SmackDown intro music as well, you know. Better than me. Really like it. It's my favorite music for quite a while. Honestly, the storyline has brought so many viewers, says Alfie. I think if it wasn't for this, WWE wouldn't have as big of an audience as it does. Coach Co said tattooing was first documented in writing in Greece in the 5th century. Brilliant. Brilliant. Coach Co, shout out to you. Coach Co, was you hacked? What happened? So great to have you back. Chris, hello. Shout out to you. We're ready for a good time, said Lone Star Friend. I wasn't a big fan of that, to be honest. Are you ready for a good time? Right, I think, are we getting the Fatal 5-Way? Here's Andrew. Here's Andrew McIntyre. Andy. Is that Wrestle with Andy? That's Wrestle with Andy. I've got a shirtless, topless Wrestle with Andy on my TV screen. Right, here's Andy. Versus Sheamus. Versus Karrion. Versus Xavier. Versus... I can't remember who the other person is, you know. Is it Ray? I can't remember. Or is it Madcap? I can't remember. I can easily check. I just can't be bothered. Jey doesn't want to be the Bloodline anymore. He just wants to be tag champs with his brother without being bossed around. But that's just my theory, said WWE fan. I'd like to see Drew Gunther. Have we seen that yet? Don't believe so. I think we will. I mean, I don't know it. There's no spoilers there, but it's he's made noises about wanting to face Gunther, And so he would seem like the most obvious choice, or the most likely choice. Here's Scarlett then, in the entranceway. Is Karrion. Still giving him a big entrance. I wonder what the thought was for having Drew come out first and not Karrion. Because this entrance is like a big part of his character. Perhaps they just didn't really think about it. Perhaps it doesn't really matter. Is Scarlett loving on the ropes? She still mouth along to it? A little bit. Yeah, she does. Lots of arm gestures. Karrion Kross in the ring then. Fall and pray. I mean, it does feel like we could do something with him, doesn't it? It does feel like we should be doing something with him. Such a wonderful performance. It's not really an entrance, is it? It's more of a performance. Right? That was SmackDown. Here's Xavier. Scarlett is holy hell. Not the swords. He's still got Angela. That sword is his mom. Well, named after his mom, but look at the size of Drew. Drew's a big boy, isn't he? I hear Kayla has got a crush on you. Is that true? Yeah, it's true. It's true. I think most of I think literally everyone that works in WWE does, actually. That's what I heard, anyway. That's the word on the grapevine. Literally, there's not a single person there that doesn't. And I include Triple H in that. Matt said, Days, does Tony Khan strike you as someone who, when failing, will intelligently course correct? Or is he the type to double down regardless? Tony Khan strikes me as the kind of person that's very data-driven. So I don't think he'll ever just allow his company to go in down. There will be a point where Tony will get a booker and will do what needs to be done. I think that the mid 800,000s viewership, I think he believes he can course correct on his own, or I believe he's under the impression he can still correct things. He knows, in his mind, he'll have reasons as to why the ratings are where they are. You know, and he'll believe that he knows the solutions in how to turn them around. So, but if they start going down to a certain point, let's say sub 800,000, then, you know, there will come a point where he'll be like, I need help. So he strikes me as someone that is very data driven. He strikes me as someone that looks at data and reacts accordingly. And at the moment, the numbers don't look brilliant. Not as healthy as they have been, but I think there'll come a point, and I think there's a line. I don't know if it's 800,000. I don't know. I don't know where that marker is in his head, but there'll come a point. And who knows? Maybe if he tries several different things to turn the ratings around and it doesn't respond, perhaps that will get there as well. That'll be as good as getting to 800,000. We either get to 800,000 and he panics and goes, right, I need to do something. Or he tries several things, they don't work, and he goes, I need to do something. But I think he's very much of the opinion, the mindset that he can turn this around. I mean, I don't think he's booking just completely on his own anyway. I think that he's got input coming in from Jericho. I think he's got input coming in from, like, you know, everyone's got input in their own segments. But the problem is, it's still not turning the ratings around, is it? So, you know, I think he is listening to people, but it's just still not working. We are at commercial break, by the way. I think Drew will win this, but I'm rooting for LA Knight, said Erase Your Minds. Zachary said that would have been a fine fatal four-way. Xavier doesn't really blend here. Kofi, maybe, but Woods. Days, how are you doing? I'm doing good, thank you. I'm doing good. Smurfy Toon said, right now, commercials are winning. Jeremy said, LA Knight versus Gunther happened in NXT, and it was a great match. WWE fan said, Woods needs a singles push. Can't Stop, Won't Stop said AEW was cool, but now it's a bit boring. It's a bit hard to watch. Midgington said, who would you prefer to win this match based on potential storyline? I would want it to be a face. So that would rule out probably LA Knight, Karrion. I don't know where we are with Sheamus, actually. But Drew, Sheamus, or Xavier. I wouldn't want Xavier. I don't see him as being a credible threat to Gunther. It would come down to Drew and Sheamus. We've already seen Sheamus. It would be Drew. I mean, it would be Drew. I don't mind us redoing Sheamus and Gunther after how incredible that match was at Clash. I mean, I thought it was a fantastic match, but so I certainly wouldn't mind doing it again. But equally, I think we get a match that, well, it's hard to say it'll be just as good, but I can't imagine it falling much shorter if we end up doing Drew and Gunther. So, yeah, I would go that way. I say that Drew hasn't had a title during the pandemic. I say Drew hasn't held a title during pandemic and WrestleMania moment. What, you don't think Drew has had a WrestleMania moment because of the fact it happened during the pandemic? Is that what you're saying? It is unfortunate. Dagmar, we said, how you doing? Who wins out of Logan or Seth? I mean, in my mind, it's got to be Seth. But who knows? Who knows? In my mind, it has to be Seth. Seth is in his prime. He's one of the best wrestlers in the world. Logan's had, 3 matches? I mean, it's mental. It's mental. It's like if Jake does fight Mayweather, but only a Mayweather from 10 years ago rather than this Mayweather. But even now, Jake versus this Mayweather, who's going to win that boxing match, do you reckon? It's going to be Mayweather, isn't it? So Mayweather's going to win. Jake knows this, but knows he's going to get loads of money, and so does Floyd. They know that's a monster fight. So, and Jake's lost now as well. He's got an L on his records. So, again, and I don't even think that would have bothered him too much anyway. I think losing, I don't think would have bothered him if the money had kind of, do you know what I mean? How much is an L worth? You pick up 50 million or something, probably makes it a lot easier to sleep at night, doesn't it? If you've lost a match. And certainly, who's gonna throw shade at you if you lose to Floyd Mayweather? You have a boxing match with Floyd Mayweather and you lose. If anyone's going to be throwing shade at you for losing against Floyd Mayweather, well, again, the 50 million will more than if it is that much, who knows? But I can't imagine it being too far from that, to be honest. Right, we are back. So yeah, for me, it should be Seth, but with WWE, you never know. Crazy cats. Maybe Logan wins and he impresses Seth. And Seth shakes his hand and says, do you know what? I was wrong about you. You're a real wrestler. You've earned my respect. Against the ropes goes Xavier. And he gets planted down by LA Kross. Watch out. Look at this. LA Knight is shouting out some advice and help to Karrion as Drew gets in the ring. Big shots coming in by Drew. Chopped there by Drew. Drew gets grabbed, gets chucked over the top rope. Big right hand there by Karrion. LA Knight collides into Drew. What's Scarlett doing on the outside? She's not really giving any advice or anything. She's just sort of wobbling around. Every time I look at her, she's like walking all over the place. She's doing like an Aubrey Edwards impression. Sheamus looking to go for a cover. Clothesline there by Sheamus. Thoughts on Sheamus Drew pinning at the same time to go into a triple threats, says Cobra. I'm not a big fan of triple threats. Not a big fan of it. I'm not a fan of them because I just think, and certainly more so when it comes to titles, I just think they're a real cheap way of like having the title change hands and still protecting the champion. It just feels cheap. I've never been a fan of it. The idea that a champion is meant to be the best person in that division. It's meant to represent the best. These are what the belts are meant to represent. They're meant to represent the best people. That belt is on the best person. That is the person to beat. And the idea you can have a match where someone can pin someone that's not the champ and then the title changes hands. Like, it's strange, isn't it? It's strange. Like, it's strange. I understand the argument that, like, the champion should be able to prevent that from happening, but I mean, if the champ's on the outside, if it's a fatal five-way like this, for example, you know, and we've got two people working on Drew on the outside of the ring, and they're, ensuring he can't get in, and then something happens in the ring and the match is over. Like, what's Drew meant to have done? Beaten up two people. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, I always think that adding extra people actually takes away. You can't tell me that Sheamus and Gunther at Clash at the Castle would have been made better by adding Drew in. Like, that match is, I mean, I think it was a 5-star match from Dave Meltzer. So I can't believe that it would have been better if we'd have added Drew in there as well. I know Drew had another match that night, but my point remains. So, yeah, not a big fan, to be honest. I think Gunther is someone that is capable of 5-star matches. I don't know that he's capable of having a 5-star triple threat. Because there's going to be times where he's on the outside and the other two are fighting. But Drew and Sheamus are obviously brilliant. They got great chemistry. So if you was going to do a triple threat, that wouldn't be the worst three. Let's put it that way. But I would campaign for it to just be one-on-one. Elbow drop by Xavier. 1, 2, Sheamus, Drew, Karrion, make the save. Why is Kofi not in the match? He's injured. BBBY said, I've got no problem with Scarlett just walking around in that dress. Gunther has come out. The Ring General has come out to watch proceedings. We're 20 minutes into the show. 20 minutes. I mean, we did have a video package. We did have the Usos arrive in 20 minutes, and we go to another commercial break. Gunther watches on. Rest with Andy said Roman has cancelled his appearance due to paying his respects to Roxanne Perez. It's true. I'm amazed anyone's here. I thought they'd be in hospital checking on her right now. It's a good point, Wrestle with Andy. Bray isn't in this. No, he's in a feud with Bibbs, isn't he? He's in a feud with Bobby. In my mind, there are 4 people who should take the title from Gunther, said Dominic. Randy, Biggie, Sheamus, or LA Knights. Steve said, I don't think Tony cares about beating WWE and competing on their level, just putting on a decent show. I don't think he loses sleep that Fulham aren't winning the Premier League. Smurfy Toons said Seth Rollins is 6'4" all-time at WrestleMania. If he loses this year, it would be his 4th straight loss. Nicole said it was crazy when Roxanne passed out. Crazy. Who's that? Patsy Cline. Bibbs, that is all. LA Knight might be a heel, but he is probably the most over superstar in this match by a mile, said Dominic. Big Time Baxter said, are there DQs during Fatal 5-Ways? No. Moolah said, AEW put on way better matches. Lister Jericho said Roxanne needs to work on her cardio. Perhaps, perhaps that's where they took her. They put her onto a stretcher, and Shawn Michaels came over and checked on her, and he was like, listen, these people, they're going to put you in the back of this van. We're going to get you on a crash course, right? We're going to get you doing some CrossFit. We're going to work on your cardio, because you really shouldn't be collapsing at the end of matches. It wasn't even that long, right? So we're gonna get this sorted, right? Yeah, have some oxygen. Have some oxygen. Take her to the gym, stat. She's been personal trained within an inch of her life since Tuesday night. Are we sure that CM Punk toxicity is worth bringing back, said Big Time Baxter? Well, I mean, there's a mixed bag there, because not everyone says it was toxic. FTR love him. And apparently he was very good. Like, there's people that have come out and said that he was great at, like, spending time with youngsters and really trying to help people out. The toxicity that he brings tends to be when people have been saying stuff about him. I think if you show him respect backstage, which, I mean, again, you know, this is old school wrestling stuff. You know, I mean, we all know about Wrestler's Court. And a lot of the cases that were heard in Wrestler's Court was to do with respect. Did you know that if you had a first class ticket and went onto a plane, and there was a superstar bigger than you, higher up, been there longer, more of a veteran, yeah, bigger person in the locker room, if you will, not size, but just like Undertaker, Cena, whoever, and they weren't in first class, you would be expected to give them your first class ticket, and then you would go and sit in economy instead. And if you didn't do that, you would end up in Wrestler's Court. Like, that's how it was. That's how it was. Respect in the locker room backstage is everything. It's everything. It's so important. And I think CM Punk is someone that if you respect him, he will give you that respect back. And there's been plenty of stories where he's helped younger talents, but he did not appreciate comments being made about him by Hangman and some of the antics of the EVPs. So, I mean, look, I think that he is someone that is certainly not going to mind his own business. He is someone that's, you know, he is going to be tricky to deal with. There's no escaping that. He is someone that's going to be tricky. But I mean, like, my reading is that it would be wrong to paint him as this person that goes around just causing trouble. I think that he is someone that just, you know, expects a level of respect. And if that level of respect he doesn't receive, then yeah, you know, he can be a problem. But I mean, WWE would, if he was to come to WWE, they would have, like, you know, they'd have gloves on, basically. They would be, you don't need to deal with anyone. Here's a coach. You don't need to interact with anyone. Just literally come do your segment, go back to the coach. Whatever you need, we'll bring it to you. They would act that way, I think, in order to get him to come back. And maybe that's the kind of thing Tony will have to do, you know. Talk and work with the people you want to, and we'll make sure the people you don't stay out of your way. Simple as that. So, yeah, I wouldn't see that as a problem, to be honest. If I was managing him, I'd be like, look, if someone upsets you, can you come to me first? Can you do me the honor? You know, you're all about respect. I'm about respect as well. I understand that if you feel wronged, right, and something's upset you, that you're going to shoot off on Twitter or you're going to go on to interviews and you're going to say something. Can you just speak to me first? Give me an opportunity to solve it. Give me an opportunity to sort it. I want to make sure that we're sorting it, right? I would have that conversation with him. Come to me first. Don't want to read anything in interviews. Don't want to see anything on Twitter. I don't want to see anything on Instagram. If something's upset you, I understand. We'll sort it, but come to me first. I think there's a way you can manage him. I can understand it not being easy, though. Shot coming in by Sheamus. He's got Karrion over against the ropes. We're still underway with this match. Still underway. Big clubbing blows coming in by Sheamus. We are 27 minutes in. Looks like we're going to take up the first half an hour. So I can't imagine it'll go for much longer. Got LA Knight over on the other side. Sheamus is coming over, grabbing LA Knight. It's going to start raining down these blows. Bang, bang, bang. Crowd's counting along. He's walloped Xavier. He's walloped Karrion. Now he's walloping LA Knight. Gunther watching on. Gunther remembers what that feels like. Sheamus in the corner. He's looking out at the fans. He's taking his time. He's calling for the brogue. He's waiting for LA Knight to get up. Bella! McIntyre knocks LA Knight out the way. McIntyre and Sheamus face to face. Here's Xavier. Big boot there by Sheamus. Xavier goes down. 1, 2, 3. Sheamus and Drew pin at the same time. Both announced as winners. Triple threat, or do we do a match next week and winner goes on? Triple threat chant from the crowd, so the crowd want triple threat. I'd do a match next week. Fans cheering triple threat. Fans want triple threat. Give the people what they want. I think Gable Steveson was supposed to beat Gunther. Oh, well, that's it. Here's Kayla. Paul Heyman. Kayla with Paul Heyman. You got any insights? All distracted. This is unusual. This Cody Rhodes is too much. Cody got involved in Bloodline business on Monday. Heyman talking about Cody. When a new challenge comes along, the tribal chief will come to the wise man. Roman is the goat. Heyman's the goat. Usos are the goats. It's interesting. He says that by the time they step in the ring, his challengers are already defeated.
I never needed you at all. Ba-ba-bum-bum. Ba-ba-bum-bum. But I never needed you.
Wise man. The most gangster thing we can do is to smash him with the truth. So they're trying to put emotional baggage onto Cody. So she was asking him about Jey. He's talking about Cody. Hall of Fame. First inductee announced coming up next. Here we go. Here we go. Mitchell said, where did that second referee come from? Don't know. Triple H Batista rivalry. Or rivals. That'll be all right, actually. In all fairness, Triple H Batista, I don't think that's one that we've focused on much. We were talking yesterday about how rivals tend to just tell the same sort of, Rock and Cena type things. But Triple H Batista, I don't think we focused on that one much. So I don't mind that at all. Who do you think is going to evolve after WrestleMania? I think Chad Gable, said Danny. Who's going to evolve? I'd imagine pretty much everyone will evolve. You don't really tend to stay the same in wrestling, do you? Everyone will evolve and change and develop in some manner. But who will step up? I think Johnny Gargano has got a bright future. I mean, he was used so well in NXT. I think that we had just been waiting really to pull the trigger on him and really get going with some stuff. So I could see him, and obviously I expect Theory to get a win over Cena. So we'd be looking at Theory as well, continuing to step up, continuing to progress. It's because Jey is going to tell Roman he isn't with him, but he's got Jimmy's back, says Mark. Jey might be the new head of the table after WrestleMania, says On. First inductee should be green shirt guy. Have you seen LA Knight, Eli Drake's Shoes of a Champion on NWA? He was drunk and got on the mic. It's really funny. He messes up but just goes with it. Don't think so. I mean, I was watching NWA when he was in there, so might have seen it. Can't remember it, though. I'll have to check it out. What is the worst rule in wrestling? I think it's the champion retains due to DQ or count out. If I was a champion, I would hit naughty spots as soon as the bell rang to keep the belt. What do you think? Well, the only thing I'd say about that is that if you do that, they'll put you in a rematch where it'll be like a no DQ. So, I mean, I sort of feel that the champion gets, the champion's got an advantage, champion's advantage. That's what they call it. Champion has got an advantage, which I don't mind. I think that if you're going to beat the champion, you should beat the champion. And, this is why triple threats are so strange to me. Because, I mean, Gunther ain't done nothing wrong, has he? Gunther ain't done nothing wrong. Gunther's just waiting for them to find an opponent for him. And now if they do book it as a triple threat, his champion's advantage goes for no reason whatsoever. If Gunther was attacking them, was causing them both problems, and had done something to deserve that champion's advantage being removed, maybe it would be a little more palatable. But he hasn't done anything to deserve that champion's advantage. He's just, if anything, he's been frustrated that they haven't found him a challenger sooner. He's been waiting for a challenger. They still can't find him a challenger. They tried to do that match. These two win. I feel like the obvious thing to do is to have Drew and Sheamus face next week. They might do that. I wonder if they'll do that, and then it still results in a draw. And then Gunther's like, I'm getting tired of this. Just do it as a triple threat. Maybe we get to it that way. That would be a better way of getting to it, because at least then Gunther's like, I've had enough. Like, I'll just give me both of them. I'll beat them both. I'll give up my champion's advantage. So he is at least then voluntarily giving up his champion's advantage. But I think just to book a triple threat because you can't find the one challenge, because you failed at your job. If you're Triple H and you fail at your job, you can't find the one person that should face Gunther, then that's on you. That's not on Gunther. It's not Gunther's fault. So, I don't know. I'm interested to see where they'll go with this. I'm thinking they will do a one-on-one match, and then it'll probably still end in a draw. There'll be a double count out, double DQ, something along those lines. Have to see. But what's the stupidest rule in wrestling? I don't mind that rule, because I think if you abuse it, then there should be a rematch that gets made straight away. That's no DQ. So you wouldn't get away with it for long. Right, we're going to find out. Look, we're backstage. We've got Drew. We've got Sheamus. They're arguing backstage. Here's Butch and Ridge, the Brawling Brutes. Wade Barrett said that is an issue that will not be solved over a couple of beers at the pub. Okay, here we go. Hall of Fame. At Honor. The first inductee. Is it Rey? Rey Mysterio! Wow! Oh, that wasn't rumored, was it? That wasn't rumored. It was meant to be someone else. Wow, you deserve it. You deserve it. You deserve it. You deserve it. Yes. Could not agree more. Of course he deserves it. Former world champion. Arguably, the greatest mass wrestler ever. And that is arguable, but we'll go with it. And, yeah, I mean, just so many achievements, so many championships, so many great moments. You ain't going to have anyone complaining at that. Wow. And you can use it as well in storyline. I hope they're only doing it just so that Dominic can interrupt. That's the only reason they're putting him in. If the story with Dominic wasn't happening, they wouldn't put him in. Rey Mysterio. This is good, said Meave. We'll do a quick video on it. Look, they're bringing Rey out. Boyaka, boyaka. 619. 619. I wonder when he knew. I wonder when they told him. Rey Mysterio. Lovely. Lovely. I think that's great as well. I mean, like, I don't know who decides this, but obviously this is Triple H's watch. So it is Triple H that I'm imagining would have a bigger say than usual. Don't know. I'm sure it would have to be cleared with Vince still. But either way, absolutely deserves it. Well, none. So Rey in the ring then. Man, I don't normally do like really short videos, but I'm going to just do a really short video. Breaking news if you're not watching the show. Let's go over. Put the graphic on. We've got Rey just coming out into the ring. let's just go back because I can't find the graphic. Where's the graphic? Oh dear. Oh dear, where's the graphic gone? Ray's in the ring. Is Dominic going to interrupt? You deserve it. You deserve it, Chance. Just deserve. You deserve it. Wow. Interrupted. Interrupted. Right. Massive, massive breaking news coming out of SmackDown. We have found out the first inductee into the 2023 Hall of Fame, and it is not a name that I have seen being mentioned. There was a name that was being rumored, but it's turned out not to be that. It is Rey Mysterio. Of course, Rey Mysterio has been in the likes of ECW and WCW. He's competed all over the world. He's been a world champion, multiple different championships, former tag team champion as well, of course, former Royal Rumble winner. He's been there. He's done it. He's arguably the greatest masked wrestler of all time. So influential, inspirational. Honestly, I don't think anyone's going to disagree with this. I think you're going to really struggle to find anyone that disagrees with this. Rey, at the time of recording this, is in the ring just saying what an honor it is. He has been interrupted, of course, by Dominic. Hopefully, Dominic doesn't interrupt the induction speech because he deserves this. Rey deserves this. And he deserves this moment as well. So big, big news. We've got our first Hall of Fame inductee for 2023. And it is Rey Mysterio. Here is Legado del Fantasma. They've made their way down. So Dominic has come down to the ring. Dominic has got into the ring. He was interrupting his dad. He hasn't been able to say anything, though, because Legado del Fantasma have come down. They've stormed into the ring. They're not happy. We know that this is going to be a match tonight. Okay, so we've got Santos getting in the face of Dominic. Okay, so Legado del Fantasma have come down there standing up to Judgment Day. Poor Rey Mysterio is not going to get a chance to talk. We're just going to go straight to this match. Poor Rey, poor new Hall of Famer, Rey Mysterio, has had to jump out the ring and scurry away as we go straight into this next match. Man, you would have thought that Legado would have beaten up Dominic, chased him into the crowd, maybe given Rey an opportunity to talk instead. They've come down and they've said, let's have the match now. Lol. Hang on, I've got a lol. Hang on. Lol. That is moody, man. They could have done something else. They could have found a way of poor Rey still being able to say a few words. Instead, he's been scurried away. I love Legado as faces. Ain't nobody got time for that. Oh, I need that, don't I? I need that. That's a good sound, that is. Ain't nobody got time for that. Alfie said, I've got to go, but take care, everyone. Alfie, shout out to you. He respects Rey. He does respect Rey. Can someone tell me who Andy is? Yeah, Andrew. Drew. Oh, and it's right there for you. It's right there. Paint by numbers. Yeah, that is a great surprise. I love that. Oh, so nice when things don't get spoiled, isn't it? Just like the good old days. Rey Mysterio. Hashtag you deserve it. You deserve it. Nice. Brilliant. Right, we are at commercial break. When we go back, we will obviously be going over to that match between Legado and Judgment Day. Done and done. Lovely. Right, Days, how's your day been? My day's good, thank you. I haven't done a great deal today. I was up quite, early, doing UFC research. So yesterday I was doing UFC research, set up the UFC stream. Just getting stuff done for the weekend, really. So, and we did a member stream as well. So, yeah, good. Austin, shout out to you. Ray should have been given a spoof Hall of Fame letter in the post sent by Dominic and Rhea, and he isn't really being inducted. He'll get a backstage segment. I bet Ray is regretting he forgot ex-con Dom. He forgot a condom the night Dom was made. Right, here we go. We are just seeing a shot of, is that Puerto Rico? Bad Bunny to cross off somewhere else off his bucket list. Oh, I couldn't even read that. WWE is making the trip to Puerto Rico for What's up with this? Bad Bunny's going to jump up. Oh my God. I can't even read these headlines. I'd have to be going the speed of Excalibur to read what these things. Bad Bunny is returning to WWE as global superstar, two-time. I couldn't have gone any quicker. What's the point in putting words up if I can't read them? Oh my God. I hate WWE. L. They've took an L there. LLE. That's what they are. Judgment Day versus Legado. Is Legado face now? I believe so, yeah. Got to read like a Micro Machine guy in the commercials. Yeah. All terms and conditions. I wish White Rabbit would get rid of Bad Bunny. Dream match. Dream match. White Rabbit versus Bad Bunny. Dream match. Yes. That's faster than Tony reads on AEW. I still can't believe WWE will have Backlash in Puerto Rico. Remember Bruiser Brody? I do remember Bruiser Brody. He wasn't with WWE. And that Puerto Rico, I don't think is where he passed away, was it? Was that where he got stabbed? I know it was outside of the US. Brody. Yeah, Puerto Rico, well done. I mean that was over money, and it wasn't in WWE, and it doesn't have any bearing on this, but still a fun fact, isn't it? Where Bruiser Brody got stabbed and killed. Yay! Amazing. Let's go back. BBB Yipsy said, could you imagine if Karrion ever joined WWE? The greatest wrestler in history, greatest Olympic wrestler, lifetime record of 8-8-7-2, went 10 years, not even giving up a point. Can he be a professional wrestler, though? Sometimes these amateur wrestlers, I mean, there's no guarantee they're going to translate. So, could have worked. Would have been a great basis for working. But, I mean, we've seen with, like, Charlie Dempsey and Timothy Thatcher, that sort of real grappling, technical, skill-heavy ability just really struggles to translate to professional wrestling because, to be honest, professional wrestling fans, a good chunk of them just want boobs and things like that. Do you know what I mean? The Attitude Era was sort of about explosions, boobs, chopping off people's PPs, more so than it was like technical wrestling skill. I don't know. I don't know if it would translate very well. Do you think Adam Cole would want to come back to what, WWE? Nah, because like he's with Brittany, he's with Brit, he's with his friends. I think now he's back from injury, he'll be used well. I think they've got high hopes for him. So, no, I mean, look, he had a decision to make. He made his decision. I think he'd be happy with it. I like to think when Ray is shaking his head at Dom, and his head is actually noticing some small things that he doesn't like seeing. Do they send his Hall of Fame speech straight to DVD? Yeah, guys, if you want to hear Ray speak about his Hall of Fame, then there will be a DVD out on Monday where he'll share a few thoughts. And even that gets interrupted by Dominic. Dominic interrupts the shipment of the DVD. Hijacks the truck. Batista, Michelle McCool, Crime Time, and Finlay should join Ray this year, said Justin. Officer Clusternut said, I'd rather see Bad Bunny at a pay-per-view than Logan Stupid Paul any day of the week. I mean, I'd kind of put them all in the same boat, to be honest. One thing I would say about Logan Paul, though, is he is athletic and he has got a size to him. Whereas Bad Bunny does look like he's just come from a crack house. So, you know, always that, isn't there? He's got that kind of... Does he do his hair to be like a bunny or something? Like, he's always got it in, like, buttons and, like, I don't know. You can, it doesn't, he's kind of thin, small. He doesn't strike me as athletic. Doesn't really have much size to him. I can buy Logan a bit better as a result. Crack Bunny. Crack Bunny. Babs Bunny and his pink purse needs to go away. They do look a bit like Mickey Mouse ears. Well, that's what I want in a wrestler. That's what I want in a wrestler. I want someone that's stick thin, that has hair that looks like Mickey Mouse ears. That's what I look for. Who's going to induct Ray? Oh, that's a good question. Who inducts Ray? Who puts Ray in the Hall of Fame? Who puts Ray in the Hall of Fame? Would have been Eddie, wouldn't it? Oh, it would have been Eddie. Will it be Edge? Will Edge do it, do you reckon? Edge? I mean, it could have been Dom. But, I mean, obviously the storyline at the moment means it won't be. Who'd you think? Batista, Edge, Batista, Max Mini, Chavo, Vicky. Excuse me! Funko Pop Asylum said, I'm about to meet The Undertaker in New Jersey. I hope it's the wrestler. Funko Pop Asylum, shout out to you, my friend. Have a fantastic time. I hope you have a great time. Out to you. Vicky, D. Malenko, Brodus Clay. Excuse me. Karrion Kross's White Rabbit, says Moolah. I never needed you. Tuck is the obvious choice. Tuck. Yeah, would they go with family though? I mean, we haven't seen Tuck that much. So I don't know. I mean, like, if he wants his family to do it, then he could do. But normally, we know. Come on, guys. We know the Hall of Fame is not about the inductees. It's about making the best show they possibly can. Hence why Jerry the King Lawler had a list of names of people he wanted to induct him, and they went, no, you can have William Shatner. And he was like, but I don't really know William Shatner. And it's like, well, get to know him because that's who's inducting you. So, I don't know. I don't know if, like, his family will do it. I mean, again, under Triple H, I think you probably can do what you want. Under Vince, Jesus. Might have been anyone. Might have been Ice Spice that was putting Ray in. It might have been... Who else? Who's that girl that plays Wednesday? She's everywhere at the moment, isn't she? I don't know her name. Might have been her. We're in Hollywood. All the inductees might be a different actor. Just to put on as much star power and razzmatazz as possible. Jenna Ortega. Yeah, her. I don't know if that's her name. Enough different people are saying it, though. She's everywhere, isn't she, now? I saw her on, I haven't watched it, but the Hot Wings, that one. Hot and Spicy, whatever it's called. Eat the chicken, burn your mouth, that show. You know, chicken, burn mouth chicken, that one. She was on there. Dominic, Spanish Fly. We're at the halfway point. We've just done the commercial break, but we'll do this
scores, now. Everybody, it's the halftime scores. I really want to know your halftime scores. Put it in the chat. Halftime scores. Everybody, it's the halftime scores. Are you happy? It's the halftime scores. Are you happy or you sad? Halftime scores.
Selena looking for a head scissors.
Halftime scores. I should get that recorded.
On Rhea. Rhea chucks her away. Here's Ray. What's Ray going to do? Stepping up to Rhea. What's Ray going to do? Going to do nothing. You're going to do nothing. Stupid Hall of Famer. Justin says 8. David said 6. Kian said 6.5. Samuel said 7. Help me, I need Dr. B said 7. Camden said 7. Mary Ellen said 8.25. Camden with a 7. Wisp with a 7.5. I just watched Batista die in Glass Onion, said Zoe Killer. Spoiler. Dominic with the pin and the win. Donald with a 6.25. Matty with a 6. DFS Chief 7.2. Tim said 0 for me, dog. Rare Breed 6.5. Jojo with a 7. Peter with a 6. Billy with a 7.4. Trini the naughty one. How naughty are you, Trini? Eh? How naughty are you? Hopefully not that naughty. That's not something I want to promote. 7. Dagmar says 6. Moolah said 7. Trey said 7. Megan said 6. Wrestle with Andrew says the new goat of mass wrestling, Scripps, will induct Ray. 10 out of 10 for Daisy singing. Smurfy, shout out to you. Shut up when greatness is speaking, says Big Dom. I want to have a heart-to-heart. Give me the ring. Give me the ring. I'm going to talk to him one-on-one. Okay, we've got a situation here. Big Dom. Big Dom wants to talk to Ray all by himself. I want to talk. Zelina offering some words of advice to Ray. Hall of Famer. Future Hall of Famer. You suck, Chance. I'd love it. I'd love it if he said, I don't know why they're inducting you and not me. I would, oh my God, I'd love that. Why doesn't he say that? Please say that. Please say that. Why are they inducting you and not me? I don't understand. Say it, Tom. Say it. Go on. You should be in the Deadbeat Dad Hall of Fame. He shoves Ray down over against the ropes. He had something to say there. Come on. Calling him out. You got to do it. You got to hit me. You got to hit me. He throws his gum at him. Is that going to be the breaking point? No, listen. Rey moves out the way. You can't do that. He didn't do anything to you. I'm not going to fight you. I don't care what you do. I'm not going to fight you. Because honestly, he would be in so much trouble at home. His home life just wouldn't be worth living. Look at these. Legado del Fantasma are with Rey, giving him words of advice, words of encouragement. Mysterio, boyaka. So Dominic speaks to Rey. The prodigal brother has returned. That's coming tonight. Dominic needs a timeout. Do you know what? He's not himself when he's hungry. He needs a Snickers. The Garda should toss Legos to the crowd when they come down. Yeah, but imagine the ones that fall on the floor that people step on. Oh, my God. It's not worth thinking about. Rey is going to retire after Hall of Fame, said Reyes. Dark Knight said there needs to be a resolution to this Rey-Dominic storyline. Does there, though? Or should we just do this for the next 30 years? Here's Miz and Maurice. What's a couple of Top Guns right there? This storyline is so unrealistic. If you have a Latino parent and you disrespect him, you would be murdered, said Tommy. I love it, though. Dom versus Rey in a spanking match. Should have done it when he was a kid. Mania will just have to do. So, Miz and Maurice in the Top Gun spoof. Kid Rock is in the Hall of Fame. Perhaps Drew Carey or Pete Rose. Where are some cheeks? Rey is a gentle giant. Rey's help gives Dominic life. This is how he repays him. Right. Well, commercial break. That's where we are. And we are 55 minutes left of this show. It's been all right. I love that Rey announcement. First half an hour was pretty much just that first match, wasn't it? But I love the announcement. Legado against Judgment Day. Honestly, the focus was more on Rey and Dominic once again, wasn't it? That kind of overshadowed the match. Dominic will ruin the Hall of Fame, and Rey will agree to a match after that, says Donalds. Sphere said, Days, what's going on with Gable Steveson? Do you think he should debut on the Raw after Mania? I think so. He made comments saying that he's interested now in going to the Olympics. It's the Olympics next year, and he's interested in going to the Olympics because obviously the last Olympics were in 2021, and so they were meant to be 2020, but obviously they got delayed. So the next Olympics have actually come around quicker, and they're next year. And he still believes himself to be one of the best amateur wrestlers out there. And so he's been making noises about doing that. So, I don't know what he's going to do. I mean, what I will say is that WWE, I don't think, would mind that because, Gable Steveson is a Olympic gold medalist. But if he could win the gold medal again in 2024, it just gives him another boost. It reminds me a lot, actually, of a conversation Vince had with Mark Henry. Mark Henry was the world's strongest man. And obviously, you can't really shout about that forever. Even though WWE will. They said, like, if you enter, he wanted to enter the competition again. And they said, well, if you enter it, you've got to win it because we're not interested in the second world's strongest man. At the moment, you're the world's strongest man, right? If you enter the competition and you don't win, then we've not got anything for you because we can't call you the world's strongest man then. You'll be the second or third or whatever, wherever you finish. So you've got to win it. So he entered this competition. I think it was a deadlift competition, and he won it. He won it, so he could continue calling himself world's strongest man. So I don't know. I don't know what the conversation would be with Gable Steveson. I mean, he's Olympic gold medalist. You can't take that away from him because he won it. He's an Olympic gold medalist, but if he goes into the Olympics in 2024 and then doesn't medal, that's got to hurt his stock, hasn't it? That's got to hurt his stock. So I wonder if there'd be a conversation with him. Like, we've got plans for you, but those plans will change if you go into the Olympics and you don't win gold. Don't know. It's a mess, innit? I think people just want him to get going and be involved in some stories. Right, here's Adam Pearce. So are we going to get Charlotte dressed as a Smurf? Charlotte dressed as an avatar? I'm always happy to see you. I want a match. I want any match. Okay. You are... she's being nice. She's being nice to Adam. She's like, hang in there. Tough day at work. Hang in there. Thank you. Lots of thank yous. It's WrestleMania season. I want a match. Right, here's Braun and Ricochet. Braun and Ricochet versus Viking Raiders. Raid. Why is Charlotte dressed as Crazy Frog? Oh, ring, 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 ring. She needs the goggles, doesn't she? And the hat and everything. A ring, 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 ring. Remember that? Well, of course, you mentioned it. Lynn said, Days, what if Seth was a member of the Bloodline because he's got the same hairstyle as Roman? Plus, we need Dean Ambrose to join. Wouldn't that be an awesome generation storyline? No. That's the Shield. We're kind of mixing the Shield with the Bloodline. I'm not a fan of that. I sort of feel like the Shield were amazing. They're one of the greatest factions in their own right. Like, in Seth and Moxley and with the Bloodline, you're getting like a Shield line. The Shield line. Blood Shield. Man, could you imagine having to do the intro for that? It'd be what? Beta, Lima, Orphan, Delta, Sierra, Hotel, India, Echo, Lima, Delta, the Blood Shield. Danan. That's way too long. By the time you've gone through all of that, people will be asleep. Yeah, I mean, and also, more realistically, I just don't see Moxley coming back. I mean, Moxley just loves bleeding. It's his favorite thing. And you can't do that in WWE. It's just not happening. Can I bleed? No. Oh. I'm not coming then. New idea. Put Vikings with Bray and have Bray time travel back to the past and become a Viking king. A Viking. Valhalla. How many times are these two teams going to face each other? Every week, baby. Every flipping week. Okay, we got Viking Raiders on the one side. We've got Ricochet starting us off against Eric. Bray has been underwhelming. I can't believe we've still got nothing to do with Bray on the show and nothing announced. There's got to be something. There's got to be some segment. Mitchell said Mox would just have to do with Heinz ketchup sponsorship with WWE and get to smear ketchup on himself every match. Yeah. It's true. You can have blood, but we have to let everyone know it's fake.
I never needed you.
Head scissors there by Ricochet. My stream keeps freezing, said Johnny. Speaking one up in memory of my sister. Spark 'em up if you've got them, said Justin. Justin, shout out to you. Bryson, I don't have them. I can't spark anything up, unfortunately. What if the Raiders join Judgment Day? This be a bit too crowded for me. Judgment Day has got, what, 3 guys and a girl? Probably about right. I mean, that allows you could probably get one more in. I always think in terms of championships, and maybe that's not the right way to think, but I always think like, well, at the moment, Rhea could have the women's title, Finn could have the main title, Dominic and Damian can have the tag belts. So you could probably put one more guy in to go after a mid-card belt as well. So that at least gives them all something to do, and then they can always feud as well. But you chuck in another 2 people into that, it just feels like there's too many people. No, you're not going to be able to get promo time for everyone. They're drawing this thing out with Bray too long, said the EST. Are you going to watch Britain USA game tomorrow? What the hell's that? What's that? What in what? No is the answer. But what are they playing in? When is the Bray segments? Don't know. They haven't even announced one. I mean, I don't know that there is a segment. There might be a little backstage thing. What if we get a Bray segment and it's only 5 seconds of nothing, said Moolah. It's a World Baseball Classic. I didn't even know we played baseball. Got a baseball team. Have we? I can tell you that is getting 0 coverage here in the UK, to the point where I didn't even know Britain had a baseball team. Great Britain baseball team. When did it start? It's been going a little bit because they reached their highest ranking in 2012. So it's been going since 2012. At least. British team won the inaugural Baseball World Cup. Did anyone know there was a World Cup in baseball? In 1938! What? Right, I can tell you now, there ain't no one in this country that knows that we've even got a baseball team. We won it in 1938. Come on! We was the best in the world in 1938. But in all fairness, that's when baseball was at its peak. Do you know what I mean? It's all been downhill since then. World Baseball Classic. Didn't enter, didn't qualify, and then we qualified. Come on. Baseball World Cup. Record at the Baseball World Cup is in 1938 we won it, and then in 2009 we got to the second round, and that's it. That is it. That's it. There's no other information. That is it. There's 2 entries for how we've performed at the Baseball World Cup. You can tell it's a priority for us. I don't even know if it's been shown on TV. I really don't. I would just like to congratulate the United States on winning that match. It's a world record. Well done. We've been humbled. We are going to go away and think about our lives. It's on Fox. Wow. Enjoy. Big Time Back said, do we really need Bray on every SmackDown? Part of the appeal is seeing sporadically. I don't know that that's true, because we spoke about how the Bloodline story has been this massive success. And one of the things I would credit to that is the fact that we see it and we get updates on a regular basis. I mean, it's just once a week, isn't it? It's sort of like, you know, your favorite TV shows, like Walking Dead, for example. I love Walking Dead. And if I watched an episode where the story didn't progress and instead we were focused on some side characters, it sort of felt like a disappointing week in the world of The Walking Dead. And I think with Bray, you know, there's a lot of people that tune into SmackDown primarily for Bray. They love Bray. They love White Rabbit. They love The Fiend. They love the Fun House. And so, you know, I mean, last week all we got was Lights Out, Uncle Howdy trying to attack, not succeeding, and then running away. And now this week, well, I don't know. I mean, we've got 40 minutes left. We know the Bloodline's going to be a big segment. We've got, you know, we're running out of time, basically. I think we will get some up. I just don't think it's going to be anything. I can't say it's going to be anything that juicy at the moment. They haven't announced anything. They haven't advertised anything. They haven't said that we're getting a fun house or anything like this. So if we do, it'll be a complete surprise. I hope we do. I really hope we do. I'm not a fan of Rico and Strowman partnership. Strowman needs to be solo or join Bray, said Serious Gaming. I agree. I just don't think it's a good partnership. It's not a partnership I find interesting. They seem like such different people. Look underneath there by Ricochet. 1, 2, kick out. Knee strike there by Eric. Eric's got Ricochet. Put down powerbomb. 1, 2, kick out. I think part of the other problem is it just doesn't really matter who wins. I mean, if Braun and Ricochet win, lovely. Have a great day. If Viking Raiders win, lovely. Have a great day. Do you know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't matter. I thought it was a one-off tag team for the tournament, said Serious Gaming. I thought they teamed to smooth over the near cancelling of Braun on Twitter, said Space Maniac. He did make some comments. It feels like they're ribbing both of them, doesn't it? Braun made some comments about like flippy wrestlers, and they even addressed it because they were, I think, facing each other in that tournament. It was Intercontinental tournament, and those comments got brought up. And now you fast forward, and now they're teaming with each other. It does sort of feel like someone's playing a trick. Valhalla on the outside is concerned as Ricochet is down and Eric is down. Do you know what I think's really unfair is I don't care about this match, right? I think that's clear to see. I don't care because it doesn't mean anything. But like, I sort of feel like, well, if people don't care, if people are the same as me and they don't care, the Viking Raiders will be blamed for that. And Braun and Ricochet will be blamed for that. And it's not their fault. The creative's awful. It's a story. This isn't even a story. I don't care. They haven't given me any reason to care. So it's not the performer's fault. It's creative's fault. Hayden, shout out to you, my friends. Hope you're well. Said Days, I've been a member for 19 months. Wow. Shout out to you, dudes. Was you around during the member stream? Did a member stream yesterday. Here's Valhalla with the dirty fingers. Wash your hands, look. Wash your hands once in a while, would you? Ricochet's going up top. Oh, Ivar moves out the way. Spin kick. Ricochet goes down. Ivar going to the outsides. Yeah, shout out to you, Hayden. Shout out to you, dudes. Ivar looking for a splash. Big splash. 1, 2, 3. Yes! Bomber! I mean, what I will say is I have been critical of us not building the Raiders. So, I mean, they get a win and it's clean. Other than Valhalla going, do you know what I mean? Like, there wasn't anything there that's, oof. Strowman ran around. They did it in slow-mo as well. He runs around the corner in slow-mo, and all you see is, like, Eric just go, step to the sides, and Strowman's like, and just continues to run into the table. He ends up chucking himself over the commentary table. Couldn't he stop? He was a runaway train, that man. He was a runaway train. No! No! Well, he brought it on himself, didn't he? Right, here's Gunther. What's Gunther going to say? I gave you one task. Identify the next challenger. Yeah, he's failed. He's an idiot, Gunther. Challenger is singular. Challenger is singular. Challengers, plural. Give him an English lesson, Gunther. English with Gunther. It is dereliction. It won't be tolerated. Do you mean you don't agree? He's just told you fat English language, you idiot. So, Drew will face Sheamus one-on-one, and the winner will go on to face Gunther. Gunther says, good, I'll be watching. Here's Charlotte. Charlotte Flair. Woo! Woo! All hail the Queen. All hail the Queen. She's dead. Right, here we go. Charlotte. Don't know who she's facing. Charlotte Flair. I love how Gunther was like, challenger is singular, challengers is plural. And Adam Pearce like, well, I don't think I agree with you. I don't think I agree with you. Well, it's a good job you're not an English teacher then, isn't it? That's not great for all the kids watching, is it? Well, I don't think I agree with you, actually, Gunther, to be honest. Show just dropped to 7. Boo Charlotte. What's your halftime score? Show's all right. I mean, the Fatal 5-Way has been dragged out. You know, we didn't get a result. We're having to go another week now, so a little bit. And that had the first half an hour. As I said, Braun and Ricochet against Viking Raiders haven't really given us a reason to care. Do love Ray going into the Hall of Fame, though. I'm probably going to say I'm pretty low on it. I mean, I'm not bored, though, and I'm not down on the show. But equally, there's nothing here that's made me go crazy, apart from Ray going into the Hall of Fame, which is an amazing announcement. And I don't mind Drew Sheamus being set up for next week, like, so I'm probably gonna go like 6. And that sounds low, but like I think it's fair. I think 6 it's all right. It's all right. Was it worth a watch? Yeah, it was worth a watch. But if you missed it, no big dramas. Do you know what I mean? You missed this show. What do you need to know? So far, all you need to know is that Ray's going in the Hall of Fame. And I put a video up for that. So if you subscribe to the channel, you'd know. That's it. Done. We know that Drew Sheamus is going to be next week. And so we still don't know who is going up against Gunther, but it might be a draw and it might end up being both. So, yeah, I sort of think like 6. And to be honest, I'd probably go down rather than up. But I don't want that to be a message of like, oh, he's really down on the show and all this kind. I'm not. I'm having a lovely time. It's fine. Fine. It's just, you know. Could we have something more significant happening? Yes, we could. Dom is going to stomp Ray at the Hall of Fame. Mitchell said it's about a 6 for me as well. Austin said, Gunther, to chop me, please. I'll chop you. I'll chop you good. I'll chop you good times. Jason said, I've been entertained. This is awesome. I don't have a this is awesome chant, you know. I've got to sort these sounds out, actually. I've got plenty of places, spots that I can add more sounds. I need to add more sounds. What sounds do I need? That'll be good. Tell me what sounds I need. I'll take your chops. I knew you would, you perv. That's why I said it. This is awesome. I need this is awesome. What other sounds do I need? I need a fart sound. Everyone needs a fart sound. I need a fart sound. What other sounds do I need? These are the sounds I've got. Wow. Hang on. Can you... Oh, no, it's turned down? Oh, I've been using sounds you've not even been hearing them. There's wow. I was wooing away earlier. I was doing this. Woo! Pressing that button and no one could even hear it. Oh, my God. That's on you, that is. That's on you. But I love you. Welcome back. Welcome back. Who is the greatest Austrian wrestler ever? Gunther. Correct. That's a correct sound. Drum roll. Oh. See, now this is where I need the fart one. Oh, what one? What? Yeah, I didn't hear anything, said EST. I was wooing away when she was coming down. Woo! You moaning. Listen, that's all I do all stream. You don't need that as a sound. That's all I do. You deserve you deserve it. Hang on.
No, God, please, no.
Oh,
no.
God.
No!
No! You deserve it. I pressed that when Ray was announced to the Hall of Fame. You didn't hear that either. Ah. The sitcom laugh trap. I've got... Got that one. Usi. Are we past Usi? We might be past it. Are we past it? Mitchell said we need a yeah for when for the chat we've voted. What, like LA Night, yeah? Yeah! Brackets, LA Night. Just have to be a... I don't think we'll get hit with copyright. Just got to be careful with things like that. I think we'd be all right. I mean, this one's out of The Office. For example.
God, please, no! No! No!
I mean, that's all right. Yeah, that should be okay. Drew McIntyre. Do you remember that? Adam Pearce saying Drew McIntyre backstage. Good God Almighty! He's got a family, damn it! Good God Almighty. That's good. The tank, yeah, the tank. Man, they really slowly ruining my girl Shotzi. It is Shotzi. Drew McIntyre was classic. I never needed you at all. Should we have a Bray segment? No. Let's do Shotzi versus Charlotte. Are you sure? I mean, like, it is nice to have Shotzi on the show, and It is nice to see the women's champion wrestling, but like, I feel like the Bray story could definitely do with something. Let's do Braun and Ricochet versus Viking Raiders. Okay, I'm just going to check one more time. Are you sure? Are you definitely sure? You know the first match as well? Yeah. It's going to go for half an hour. What? What? We could take 5 minutes off though, couldn't we? Do a Bray segment. Nothing. My hands are tied. Literally, my hands are tied. There's nothing we can do. Ah, damn. That's it. That's it. I mean, we've got, what, 27 minutes to go? I mean, this match will go for, a little bit. Takes Roman about half an hour to come down. I still think we get a Bray segment, though. I just think it's going to be a little backstage thing. It's just going to be a little promo, I just got back from the bathroom. I don't really know what it means. You need a damn. Yeah, damn's goods. Zoe Killer, shout out to you. Damn. That does make sense. What's the main event? I think it's probably going to be Jey being welcomed back. Oh, hello. Someone's interrupting. Rippers is interrupting. This is my brutality. All right. Oh, roll up by Shotzi. 2. Kick out by Charlotte. Suplex. She got crazy height on that. Rhea Ripley. Rippers has come down to watch, observe as we go to commercial break. X Music, shout out to you. A dollar store, Ruby Soho. Ruby Soho. What? Shotzi. Does Ruby Soho have a tank? Has she got a helmet? I've got a helmet, I've got a Shotzi helmet. Here it is. Yeah! Oh. It doesn't really fit. Can I just say, this is an awful fit. Awful. It does not fit. I mean, you've really got to, like... Oh, I almost hit the horns then. Like that, and then it like slowly works its way off your head. It really is not comfortable. I've never done the strap up though. Does that go? I'm ready. Just need... Yeah! Actually, that's better with that on. Doesn't really matter so much when you've got that on. I'm ready for my tank now. I wish I'm sure I'd be able to get a picture of a little tank that I could maybe put on screen. Is there a little PNG of a tank front? Tank front PNG. Oh, there is, Okay. Let's go. I'm ready for war. Putin, you watching? You douche. We're ready. I'm a reserve. I'm just waiting for the call up, guys. That's all it is. Just waiting for that sweet, sweet call up.
I never needed you at all.
I never needed you at all. Honestly, it sounds weird in my head. Now that I've done this up, it works better, Definitely works better. Where's my tank? Just downloaded a picture of a tank, but it's not showing. Hang on. Day's debut. Yeah, I see people saying about like, where did it come from? WWE did send it through in like one of those, when they're very kind and they sent through like a package of like bits for us to have a look at. It was in one of those. Oh yeah, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Ah! Yeah. War, 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 war. I'm coming for you, Putin. I'm coming for you. Ah! He's storming into Russia with this. Ah! War, 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 war. I feel very inspired by Shotzi. I feel very inspired. She's inspired. She's brought the war out in me. Oh, this is awesome. People of Russia, your leader's douche. Yeah. War, 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 war. Oh, I wish my gun would fire. Well, that's what she said. There we go. I don't even know if I'll get this off now. That's the problem. You see, you have fun with the war, and then at the end of the day, you've got to try and get your helmet off. And, yeah. Oh, well, I think I lost myself for a second there. Well, that got us through a commercial break, didn't it? Big Gun Day, said Erase Your Minds. Let's get that trending. Let's get that trending. Definitely support that. Hit coming in by Shotzi. Dominic said, imagine LA Knights open challenge at WrestleMania. Randy Orton comes out. How big would that pop be? That would be great. And that'd be a great match as well. LA Knight against Randy Orton. Put me down for that. I'd love to see that. Yeah, that'd be really good. There might be some. It might be some questions as to why he's come back and gone straight into a singles match. When we last saw him, he was in Arcade Bro. So I sort of feel like if he's going to bring him back, maybe Riddle would need to be in trouble, and then like, do you know what I mean? Riddle's in trouble. Oh my God, what's going to happen? Here's Randy. So I sort of feel like that would be your first port of call for a story. But obviously Riddle's not around. Hasn't been around all year, has he? I think they're really making sure that Riddle is sorted. Like, I really like that. He hasn't just gone for like the 8 weeks. He's been gone for a long time. I mean, he went like, is it November? I think he missed a lot of December. January, February, we're halfway through March. Seemingly he's gone to get help, and I think they're really making sure. Right, here we go. Charlotte gets the win. Where is Riddle? Mitchell said, you missed my super chat. Oh, I'm sorry. I was engaging in war. Buds. It's hard to do war and read super chats. Mitchell said, tell me the story of you getting that helm. There isn't much story, to be honest. It was just WWE Shop have been very supportive of this channel for a long, long time. I think the reason is because I do, like, you know, articles and things with Kids Magazine, and I have done for years. And I think, like, that just got the channel on WWE's radar. So they've sent through a few bits. And obviously, they, you know, click on the link and, you know, if you do buy anything from WWE Shop, that helps support the channel. But yeah, they just sent it through, that's all. But it just lives on a shelf up there. And mainly because it hurts my head whenever I wear it. My head kills right now. My head's too big for it. Right, Rippers is in the ring. Watching you tonight. Watching you tonight reminded me as to why I chose you after I won the Rumble. You can wipe that smug look off your face. And I look in your eyes. I don't only see acceptance, I also see all of your insecurities. I'm going to take away that one thing that makes you feel so important. So she's going to be a challenge, man. I think she wins, but this could be a good little match. This Sheamus. Your improvement might be something you're proud of, but I've improved every single day, said Charlotte. It's a fact. I want it more. Fact. I want it more. And I want it now. She takes this business oh so very seriously. You're Rhea Ripley, you'll rip apart anyone that stands in your way except for me. What do you think will happen at the Hall of Fame? They can't have Dom interrupt. I can't see it happening. Do you think Ray joins Judgment Day? I don't think he'll join Judgment Day. And I think that Dominic will... I think Dominic will cause a slight disturbance. I don't think it's something that's going to completely derail the thing. But we have seen at Hall of Fames before where storylines sort of can still play out at Hall of Fames. You know, there's been speeches used where they've spoke about opponents and whatever. But I don't think it would be something where he can't get his speech done, you know? But yeah, it's going to be a tricky one, that. I mean, Dominic will be there. I'm trying to think. I don't know what you would do. I don't know, like, you could have Dominic. I'm trying to think, what would I do? I think what I would do is I would have Dominic try and get at Ray. So Ray walks out. I would have Dominic try and get at Ray. Ray looks at, like, you know, as Dominic's coming towards him, someone takes him out, maybe Santos Escobar, just grabs Dominic, tackles him down to the ground. Legado drag Dominic away, and so then he's removed. So Ray can then give his speech without being interrupted, and you know why Dominic is not interrupting him, because he made an attempt to disrupt it, but it got thwarted. Because I don't think you can have Dominic realistically just sitting there allowing his dad to just talk, unless you keep cutting to Dominic and have Dominic like this. But I think that would be disrespectful as well, you know? I sort of think that you really want Ray to be able to give his speech, and it's, you know, this is the pinnacle of your career. It's how it should be seen. Like, you know, championships are fantastic, but going into the Hall of Fame is, you know, it's held in very high esteem. So I sort of feel like you should be able to watch that speech back and it be legit, you know? You don't want to watch it back and because they were telling this story at the time, you know, you've got like Dominic pulling funny faces as Ray is talking about his career and everything. So I would get it done early, get it out the way, have Dominic try to get at Ray and disrupt it. He gets dragged away, gets taken away, so that Ray can then do his full speech. So ticks all the boxes, done it. I would do that. I'd break kayfabe. I would have Dominic sat with his family. This is once in a lifetime, says Liam. You could do that. It's a very interesting point. I mean, that is interesting. I mean, that is that we could talk about that till the cows come home in regards to like, when do you keep kayfabe? When do you break kayfabe? Because we all know this is a storyline. So, you know, do you do that? Do you abandon kayfabe, or is it, you know, the fact that it's still being presented on TV? Because I believe it is a TV thing, and so it's, you know, it's going to be seen by people. But does that matter anymore? We've all seen enough shoot interviews. We all know what's going on. So does it matter? It's a really good point. Yeah, it's a really good point. think people would be split on breaking the kayfabe, but like, as you say, it's a once in a lifetime thing, isn't it? So, yeah. It's interesting. That is a really interesting conversation. That is. It's a really interesting conversation. Do you just have him sat there proud, or do you stick to the storyline? Who inducts Ray? I think it might be Dom, as it would be Eddie, but he is no longer with us. Well, listen, if he was going to break kayfabe, then Dom would make the most sense. But I think there's a chance it could be someone like Edge. Eddie would have made the most sense, but 22 days till WrestleMania. We got 12 minutes. There has been not a single glimpse of Bray. Right, next week, winner faces Gunther. Drew versus Sheamus next week. 1-on-1. And nothing. Are we going to get something for Bray at the very end? I mean, I don't think we are. Is this just a week of no Bray? No Bray. Hurrah! Bray Wyatt has retired. Wow. Right, here's the Usos. Vicky could induct him, said Mitchell. Excuse me. Could. Sheamus Drew ends in double count out, and then it will be a triple threat, said X Music. Last week was no Bray, said Horror King. We got Howdy, though, didn't we? I mean, we got some, at least we got Bobby. We got Bobby at least doing something for the feuds. I just don't, I said before, I just don't get it. How did we go from White Rabbit and Extreme Rules and all of that? How did we go from that to now 20 days away from WrestleMania and he's just not even on the show? I mean, we've got to build that match. That's a match at WrestleMania, and we've got to build it. Bray was fired, said Tony. No Bray sounds good to me, said Tim. This is sad, no Bray, said EST. Do you think Vicky would come back to WWE? I think she would put Ray in. She's not really doing anything in AEW, is she? So I don't think she'd have a problem coming back at all. I just don't know what her contract is with AEW. Right, here's Jimothy. The Bloodline is back together. There we go. The Usos throwing up the wands. You see. Big question of the whole week. Sammy, 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 Sammy. The big question, Jay, why did you do it? Why you betray Sami Zayn? Yeah, why, Jay? Loser. Don't make me get the tank, Jay. Keeps going to talk and then pause him. Some chants that are bugging him. What would you do? What would you do? Put yourself in my shoes. He still seems conflicted, doesn't he? Definitely still seems conflicted. If a family's car breaks down, you're there for them. If they've got no food, you go grocery shopping. said, why did I do it? Because I had to. I didn't want to. I didn't want to do it. I never had a choice. He is my family. He is my blood. Hey, this is really interesting. Jey saying I didn't want to do it. I mean, that's not what Roman wants to hear, is it? Don't blame me. You don't know what I go through. Don't know what I'm going through. One person I blame. It's James Chadwick. It's James Chadwick, isn't it? I bet he blames James Chadwick. Is it let him in? Is it David Paul? Is it Scott Lopez? EST? No, it turned out to be Sammy. So there's only one person I blame, and it's you, Sammy. What your problem is? You're selfish. All you had to do was fall in line. It's good, isn't it? Okay, so there's only one problem we've got to get rid of now, and that's Cody Rhodes, said Jimmy. Oh, Cody's coming out. Oh, 5 minutes to go. Cody's coming out. Okay. Wasn't expecting this. Adrenaline in my soul. Everybody wants to know. Here's Cody, the 2023 Royal Rumble winner. There isn't any time for Cody to talk. No, he's going to have to cut it in the entranceway, isn't he? Look. I keep hearing my name. If you're going to talk about me, why don't you talk to me? Say you answer to Roman. I don't. I answer to them, and he points to the crowds. Sounds like they want to see us fight. If you take one step here, you won't make it to WrestleMania. Taking off his jacket. He's got lovely clothes, isn't he? Sammy in the ring. Sammy attacking. Sammy jumps in the ring. It's a sneak attack by Sammy. Cody in there as well. Where's Solo? Where's Solo? Sammy jumping in the ring. Crowd goes crazy for Sammy. Cody in the crowd. Oh, it's a big brawl. It's a big brawl to end. Oh, it's good. I think Cody's wearing white socks. Very Michael Jackson. He is, you know. Where's part-time Roman? Don't know. I thought part-time Roman was there, but he's not. And I don't know where Solo is either. Usos seemingly on their own. Get back into the ring. Cody eliminates, well, chucks over the top rope one of the Usos. Couldn't see which one it was. Sammy and Cody in the ring. Michael Cole said, did Cody make a critical mistake getting involved in the business of the Bloodline? It's interesting, isn't it? Did Cody make a critical mistake getting involved in the business of the Bloodline? No, I don't. I think it's fine. No, I think it's all right, though. Sammy is a feel-good story. Cody is a star, said to heel. Bray Wyatt to AEW confirmed. He did make a mistake, said Austin. Poor show. I'm giving it a 4. Put in your scores. Put in your scores. EST said, I got engaged today. Oh, many congratulations. Well done. Congrats. And you're here. I'd have thought you'd have other things to be thinking about and doing. But EST, many congratulations. Nivek said 2.3, the show sucked. Jojo with a 5. Obion with a 5. Matt with a 7. EST with a 4. LD Cool, shout out to you. Virus with an 8. Jacob 3.5. Have you seen the back and forth between Raj and QT? What was that? Hang on. I didn't see the end of that. Did I see the back and forth between Raj and QT about the main event of Dynamite? No. About Wardlow and Fit. I mean, I thought the... no, I haven't. I'll have a look at it. Days, is there a possibility that Goldust could come back to have one final run with Cody and go into the Hall of Fame? He can come back and go in the Hall of Fame. I don't think he'll have a run with. I don't think he'll have a run with Cody. I think he might get involved. I mean, I would love for him to be in the crowd. I would love for him to deal with one of the Bloodline. I think, Brandy dealing with Heyman, Solo being dealt with by Dustin, and maybe Kevin and Sammy dealing with the Usos. Anything that can just leave, not Cody winning because of them, but them just ensuring that it is a level play fields. If they can just ensure that it's a level playing fields, then I think that'd be brilliant. I think that'd be absolutely brilliant. Because it's not cheating. He hasn't won because of them. It's just been made fair because of them. It's just level because of them. So, it'd be great if they could deal with those. And then the match carries on for a, good 5-10 minutes. It's clean, and Cody ends up winning. That'd be awesome. And I think I think that's the right way to do it as well, to have Dustin involved, because if a Rhodes is about to become a world champion, I think Dustin being involved in that is the right way to do. The only problem is, would Tony Khan allow that? I mean, that's a difficult position for Tony, because it's a great moment for his competitors or his competitor. But it's so personal to the Rhodes family that Tony just can't really afford to stand in the way of that. I mean, he is going to be seen as the bad guy. In that position, Tony is put as the bad guy if he says no. Really, he would have to say yes, because it would mean so much. It would be such a special moment. I think that from a PR point of view, it plays better than him saying no.
I never needed you at all. I never needed you.
So, yeah, I mean, I could see that. But do I see him going back to WWE and having a run and all of that? I don't think so. I mean, Dustin has made it quite clear that he's very happy with AEW. He's said, just because my brother's gone back doesn't mean that I want to. But I think he will go back to go in the Hall of Fame. Goldust is Hall of Fame worthy. Just the impact he had on the business. I know he was never world champion, but wow, what an interesting character. Let's put it that way. A character that divided opinion, a character that certainly sparked conversation, but a character that I think had a big enough impact to go into Hall of Fame and a very long career as well. I mean, in a way, you're putting Dustin Rhodes in, right? That's who goes in. So I would put Dustin Rhodes in. He goes in for what he did in WCW, WWE, and maybe even what he's done in AEW as well. But obviously, you wouldn't talk about AEW when he goes in. You'd just focus on WCW and WWE and Goldust in particular. But I'd have no problems with him going in the Hall of Fame. Apparently, there was a QR codes. Oh, was there? Well, if so, it certainly passed me by. Let's have a little look. QR codes. Sometimes they're on just crates in the background and they don't mean anything. Seems like there was a QR codes and it led to this. It's a minute long. Okay, I'm going to go and look into that then. Okay, appreciate it. Thanks a lot. I'm going to look into this QR codes and we'll get a video out about that. Looks like there's like a minute-long video. It's a TV that says start or go back. That one passed me by. I mean, I didn't see anything flash up, but maybe it flashed up whilst we was chatting or looking at the chat or something. But no, we'll have a look. Appreciate it. Bye for now. Oh, okay. Mr. Beast said it's fake. Reddit people are trolling, said Mr. Beast Rules. Okay. Okay. Well, Mr. Beast Rules, shout out to you. We'll have a look at it.